See, the thing about like a really good Mexican restaurant is like on the menu, is there like numbers for like combinations
No,
and things, or
that
is
is
this like a little more
more.
upscale
That's more like a Chinese restaurant in my
in
experience.
your take? Yeah, I don't
With the
know.
numbers?
Yeah, like I'll take the number 14 combo, and it's like a chimichanga and a chicken taco and whatever.
Listen, I am not afraid to admit that I am not the most mature of eaters in my life.
Uh huh.
I will normally go into a restaurant and just flip to see if the quesadilla contains the vegetables or if the vegetables are on the side. However, recently I'll go to like the little taco menu and just like go crazy, you know?
And just rifle off, picking off different kinds of tacos.
Yeah, I'll
I
get
love
like
that,
the steak asada. I'll get the birria. I'll get the pork.
dude.
Maybe a little shrimp.
Dude, asada is where it's at. Dude,
Asada.
asada.
Yeah.
That's another great way to start a podcast. Just making your mouth water at 8:30 at night. Hello and welcome for the last time to Uncultured Universe, the podcast where friends and lovers showed each other movies, TV, music, and books to get a little bit more cultured. And now, Joe, I'd like to think that we are, in fact, way more cultured than we were 3 years ago when we started this podcast.
Truly, and we're going to get into it.
Yeah, I can't wait to do our retrospective, to do our our heavy critique in the middle, and then like finish out the shit sandwich with like pats on the backs, superlatives.
There are some genuine movies that have come from your side of things that are like a part of my lexicon
Love it.
now
Yeah,
in a way that they would not have been before. And I will point them out when we go through
yeah.
our decades and decades of work.
We're we're gonna do our, this is the Beatles ride again, or not the Beatles, like the Rolling Stones last tour, roll again.
The Eagles.
The
Yeah.
Eagles, hell freezes over.
This is the Glee cast coming
Never
back.
say never, except for that one guy. So for the first and the last time, we are both pulling a Christian Bale, a Lindsay Lohan, an Eddie Murphy, and Joe and I are both going to be playing both the uncultured and the cultured roles for today because it's the rare double episode.
Oh my gosh. Who is the Eddie Murphy in this? What's the Eddie Murphy movie where he plays doubles?
It's the Nutty Professor series.
Oh, da da da. You're so
Duh.
right.
Oh, and Coming to America too. Um,
And Christian Bale is obviously
the
American Psycho.
the Prestige.
Yeah.
Yeah, Batman. Yeah, he's both Batman and Bruce Wayne. Incredible. Today we are going to be doing the unthinkable, reviewing two seemingly disparate movies on the cinema spectrum. At the same time, 1985's Pee-wee's Big Adventure and 1992's A League of Their Own. Now, do these two movies have more in common than you think? Let's dive in and find out together. Joe, I'm going to start off, and we're just going to kind of fly by the seat of our pants like we
Let's
normally
just
do.
dive in.
Let's just dive in. Let's just start with Pee Wee,
Oh,
and we'll kind of bounce around because last time you went with Prince of Egypt, and pulling a hard left turn into Wackyville. Uh,
I promise you, we're out of my Catholic upbringing after practically a mini series worth of Joe being on the fringe of very religious movies.
right. Although your movie, A League of Their Own, does have several church scenes and them going to confessional and things. So still sprinkled with Catholicism throughout.
Mm,
But
can't get away from it.
originally, I wanted to do this movie earlier this year in January or February when we were doing our like totally fucked up movies or
Yeah.
wacky series.
We did like a fucked up February for instead of like Valentine's movies.
Yeah, that's right. Yours was The Handmaiden, which freaking wild. But I wanted to combat that and bring Pee Wee's Big Adventure to the table, but for some reason or another, we didn't get to it. So it's fitting that it's the last movie or one of my last movies that we talk about.
Mhm.
Um, what did you know about Pee Wee Herman?
I knew shockingly little. I had to be reminded as the credits were rolling that this was a Tim Burton movie. I knew that, but like it never really clicked with me because I never think of this movie when I think about Tim Burton, even though you watch this movie and it's so obviously his like
Yeah,
style of like
100%.
very like primary colored suburbia weirdness.
Yeah,
Um I so I always thought Pee Wee was a children's TV show, which I know there is a version of that
yeah,
somewhere, right?
yeah.
And that comes after this.
I believe it does come after this. Prior to this movie, he had developed the character of Paul Rubens had developed the character of Pee Wee Herman on like late night shows.
Hmm.
He would do like little minutes here and there, and kind of would like take him on tour. Selling out. I don't want to say Madison Square Garden, but something else. Like a pretty big deal. As this character, which is pretty wild, in the early '80s, and yeah, this film came about just pretty happenstance between him and Phil Hartman and Michael Vorel, which is crazy.
So there were, I did notice, kind of like some Saturday Night Live folks in
Yeah.
this movie,
Hmm.
like Phil Hartman, obviously, and then oh, I always forget her name, but the woman who plays Jenna's mom on 30 Rock. I don't know if you know who I'm talking about. She plays the like tour guide at the Alamo.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Uh-huh.
She looks so different, but I recognize her face like immediately. She was also on Saturday Night Live,
Yeah.
so it's kind of like bouncing off of our Saturday Night Live miniseries from last year, where it's like films that came out of Saturday Night Live. This is kind of in the orbit of that. It
It
seems like.
absolutely is. Yeah. I think Paul Rubens was in like the uh either in the Groundlings or like adjacent to.
Hmm.
They're all friends. They're all working together, all coming up at the same time. But yeah, this movie is a full fever dream. Like this was his second or third, film appearance. And it's a full on movie of this character that he made up. 5 years prior. Um, uh, Tim Burton's first directorial debut,
Hmm.
which is crazy.
This
Like
is first movie.
first movie,
Oh
and
wow.
Danny Elfman's first score.
Oh my god. So much of it is just like there already in
I
this
know.
first movie.
Yeah, so it's really fun and telling that from an artist perspective, like they have such a vision cast and
Hmm.
such a type and such a style defined at such a young age. Like they're in their 20s, their early 20s making these movies, and that like permeates everything else that they had done in the 40 years since.
It I mean, watching this movie, it kind of feels like you're taking the later Tim Burton movies, which have budget, they have like a lot of special effects, a lot of like big actors, and you're kind of splicing that with like a Napoleon Dynamite or a Forrest Gump in a way, in terms of just like the look of it and the story. Like you have this kind of oddball character living in this oddball world, but part of it is just in suburbia, part of it's in just like the plains.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. It's out of time, it's out of like you know the house that Pee Wee lives in is so
mhm.
a child's like dream come true of just like Rube Goldberg machines galore, fire pole inside, toys all over the place. Just it's everything I wanted as a kid.
Yeah. It it reminded me of this show that we watched on VHS growing up, which was also from like I guess the 70s or 80s. Do you know what Captain Kangaroo is?
Yes, yeah,
Yeah,
hmm
that sort of vibe. Everyone's kind of wearing like red suspenders and stripes. Everyone
right.
kind of looks like a clown
hmm
a little bit, even though maybe that was just what people looked like in the early 80s.
Everyone
Uh,
just looks like a clown.
it's all just like bright, like reds and yellows and blues and greens and
Man, we
like
used to be a good society. We used to be a society, you know.
yeah, yeah. This is the type of movie that my parents would probably not let me watch purely because they don't want me like picking up on the attitude of the character
Mm.
involved. I
Speak on that. Speak on that.
I sent you. It did remind me of the tweet where it's just like me and my friends would have killed ET with hammers. I can tell you that much.
Yeah.
um,
But you struck through it and you wrote Pee Wee.
I sent you that. Listen, the moral of this story is that he did grow on me, but it took a little bit of time. So I'm just I would be so interested in knowing how just like the general public of the 80s took Pee Wee Herman without much prelude at all. Like
Sure.
knowing that the TV show came after this, and I'm assuming the TV show was just like straight up for kids, right?
hmm Yeah.
Did you ever watch any of that?
Surprisingly, no. I never watched any of the TV show, but I
Okay.
know of it. I'm familiar with it. Like Lawrence Fishburne got his start there, and
Oh,
yeah, like a bunch of other like weird side characters and stuff make appearances, and it's all that kind of like nightmare adjacent visuals of, like the big talking chair and like
yeah.
everything has eyes. It's very reminiscent of, kind of like Salvador Dali in a sense of just very, that retro futurism, LCD or LSD kind of tripping
It's
balls.
it's Salvador Dali's big comfy couch.
Yeah, big comfy couch, 100%. Yep.
There's a touch of Teletubbies in there, just in like in the way like whenever you see grass, it's probably like turf, and there's like random like robotic elements mixing in with the nature in a way.
Yeah.
And another movie that we talked about covering at one point but never really got to was Edward Scissorhands, and I
Right.
think he takes a lot from this movie and brings it to that, just based on the parts of that I have seen.
I think that may have been the next one he did.
Hmm.
Um, so previous to this, he did his short of what ultimately became Frankenweenie.
Right.
And that's what turned Paul Rubens on to like, who's this director? Who's this guy who made this thing that I love so much? I want him to make my movie, just because he has captured my imagination in such a way. The thing about like the early 80s and mid 80s zeitgeist pop culture kind of a thing, you got to look at everything else that was going on around it. So like you have things, like Captain Kangaroo, still thing, 70s, early 80s
Hmm.
in syndication, kind of wacky. Um, and then you have, like Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood, which is like a little bit more subdued and more straight laced, a little more
A little more
down,
wholesome.
a little more wholesome, a little more down the line, but still for kids,
Hmm.
but still a little silly, a little, that kind of a thing. And then you got, Sesame Street coming up from the 70s and early 80s, and then like Bob Ross. So like these enigmatic characters, these kind of like larger than life personas
Hmm.
are just like everywhere. So, like Pee Wee at the end of the day is a big kid, you
Hmm.
know? So he's easily not attainable, but like for a child to like glom onto that character and be like, I'm seeing the world through his eyes now.
It is exactly that. It's like it's adulthood in real life seen through the eyes of a child, and so everything is kind of bigger and more heightened. His house is just full of gadgets. His house where he lives by himself,
Self? Yeah.
he's got like this like robot butler that is it Abraham Lincoln? Is that what it is?
Oh, I mean, he's just making pancakes.
Yeah. Yeah, there's a bunch of Rube Goldberg machines all over the place. Um and you have these characters that he interacts with on his journey that all seem like 10% turned up
Yeah.
a little bit, which is the style of Tim Burton. But again, like we've been talking about, just like the style of children's media of that time,
Yeah.
it seems like.
Yeah, it absolutely was. So, you brought up something like it took you a minute to kind of warm up to the character, once you kind of get into the rhythm and the flow and kind of understand, okay, so this is how he is, this is how he acts, kind of a thing. Like this is obviously geared towards a younger demographic, that kind of a thing. It kind of reminds me of like conversations, that I remember early on with around like Miss Rachel and things like that.
Oh, I've seen Miss Rachel.
People would be like, I can't stand Miss Rachel.
Do you know Blippy?
Yes, and I'm
Yeah.
getting to Blippy. I got the Blippy of it all. But like, people be like, I can't stand Miss Rachel. It's like, well, why? It's like, oh, she's annoying. It's like, so she's not making that for you. You're not the target audience.
Yeah.
Like if you think about it from a kid's perspective, she's the fucking best.
Oh
And
yeah.
also as a human being, she rules. But um so like once you kind of like bring your gaze down and kind of like step off your high horse, you're just like, oh, I kind of see where this character's coming from and going. So it's just a fun time.
And I think that is a key bit of this movie, is that it is still directed towards a younger audience. It's not like it's existing in kind of like the Wayne's World sphere where it's like a PG-13 movie for like teens and grown-ups that has just like juvenile humor.
Yeah.
Like this doesn't have like a bunch of boob jokes in it or something like that.
No.
It's literally just like this character who the reason I did warm up to him was so weird. Like you start with Pee-wee as this man child kind of going about his day. I do like his little kitchen booth that he has. The bottom floor of his restaurant basically looks like a diner.
Yeah.
And then he's obsessed with his bike. He has a bunch of gadgets out in the yard that basically just like maintain things for him.
Yeah.
But then the second he interacts with his neighbor, we're gonna get to the neighbor because I got a big note there.
Oh yeah.
He the neighbor is also seemingly like a man child in a way,
Yeah.
or like not the neighbor, but like he lives in the neighborhood. He kind of lives in like the richer part of town.
Yeah.
But Pee-wee kind of immediately takes on this like he's not entirely nice all the time. Like
Yeah.
he gets kind of like shitty with the neighbor, and like they get into this like back and forth kind of arguing bit where it's
Mhm.
almost like the kids in A Christmas Story when they're
Yeah.
kind of like jabbing each other. And I like that he's not this like helpless character. He absolutely will kind of like stick up for himself and
Yeah.
like go after other folks before they go after him in a way.
He's got a sharp wit, and
Yeah.
and he can go toe to toe with anybody. And a key scene indicative of that is when he's at the biker bar
Uh-huh.
and he's trying to talk on the phone to the operator. He's like, "Excuse me, I'm trying to use the phone."
He's going about life at his own pace, and he's not afraid to just like push people out of the way to do it.
I know.
He's
He
not
can
like
help.
some baby man. Like that would be too much, you know?
Yeah, right. And he can he stands on his own 2 feet, even though he is literally a 98-pound weakling, as demonstrated in the beginning. Um, but yeah, like this movie is like everything a kid would want. Like it's bright colors, it's got all the fun gadgets and toys and stuff like I talked about in his house. But also the main thing, the main crux of this movie is his fucking rad bike.
Yeah.
Every kid loved their bike, and growing up. And so having his being this, what every kid imagines their bike to be, pristine condition with the tassels, and you take care of it, you love it so much. So like if something were to happen to it, you too would be devastated, and you would cross the country and seek the ends of the earth to find your bike again.
I kind of shuffled through bikes growing up because I had like a bunch of older and younger siblings. So like we just like like the crabs moving in and out of their shells and stuff.
Yeah, uh-huh.
Did you have like a bike growing up that was the one?
Um, I had like a couple. I had like a
Mm-hmm.
couple the ones. Like I remember my very first bike, like getting it on Christmas. Like that was, the first time I remember the Christmas magic of, it's not there the night before, and then I wake up and there it is, unwrapped. Santa, oh my God, he brought
He
it.
brought it.
God is real. Thank you. Only to be brought down the next year when God didn't make me the Black Power Ranger. Um, but
Reviewers keeping track.
yeah. Um, but yeah, like I loved that bike because that was my first one, and then I had like a real like workhorse of a bike, in like third and fourth grade that I rode all over, uh, you know, over town in Texas when I grew up there.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so like I remember those two specific bikes of just like that's how you got from point A to point B. I would ride down the street to my friend's house, and we would ride, across the way and go to find the creek or the lake,
Mm-hmm.
and just dump off your bikes, and the big pile of bikes in the neighborhood where all the kids would hang out at. So
I
yeah,
love the visual gag of the train. Not the train, the chain that he's pulling out of his little bike
yeah,
box, like Mary Poppins. It just keeps on going and going until the bike is wrapped up like a mummy.
incredible. Um, let me hit you with a little bit of facts and things here. We already talked about it. Directed by Tim Burton, his first full length. Written by Phil Hartman and Paul Rubens and Michael Vorall. Music by Danny Elfman, starring Paul Rubens, E.G. Daily, Mark Holton, Diane Salinger, and Judd Omen. Released August 9th, 1985. Budget $7 million.
That's crazy.
That's so little. And a box office of 40 million. They did pretty good.
Good for them.
Um, Paul Rubens and co. had never written a screenplay before, so they bought a book on how to do it, and they followed it to the T, like they were following a fucking recipe. Um, it's essentially like each page of your script should be a minute of the film.
Yeah.
The film is 90 minutes. The script is 90 pages.
Mm-hmm.
The first act ends on page 30. Act 2 ends on page 60. And like they honestly, I don't know how true this is, but like film courses and things like that would refer to this movie as like how to do it by
It
the
is.
book.
Yeah, it is a relatively easy movie to keep track of. He goes on the little hero's journey like Star Wars.
Yeah.
Um,
Oh,
I mean,
or the Odyssey.
yeah, or other classics like that. So you have like the starting moment where he goes into the bike shop, comes out, and well, he's basically just like shopping around suburbia, comes out and his bike is stolen, and that kind of just kicks off the whole movie. And from that point on, it's kind of these little like Forrest Gump-esque
Yeah.
10-minute episodes of him interacting with various people to get closer and closer to his bike.
Yeah.
So who does he go to first here? Well, he starts out at the bike shop where the girl who works at the bike shop has a little crush on him. She's cool. I thought for a second it was oh god damn it, Natasha Lyonne, and then I was
Oh.
like, this is way too old for that. That doesn't make any sense at
Yeah,
all.
Natasha Lee is like 7.
Yeah, yeah, but that sort of vibe.
Mm-hmm.
Um, uh,
No.
she wants to go to the drive-in with Pee Wee. He comes out, goes to the and realizes his bike is stolen, and kind of goes on a crazy rampage with the cops and then eventually ends up at the fortune teller's place. Is that kind of the first stop here?
Yeah, he goes to the cops after he passes out and all that. And
Yeah.
my favorite like cut to the police station, to the officer he's talking to, and she goes, "So what leads you to believe that the Soviets are involved?" It's just off the wall. So funny. Um, and then he has like his, Exhibit A, Exhibit B with like all of his friends around town, and it
Oh yeah,
goes
yeah.
on for way too long. And then he gets desperate and goes to the fortune teller lady. Yeah.
It does have the feel of like a movie that is based off of a TV show rather than the other way around. Because it has all of these like pre-established characters. The whole entire time I was like, who is this like gang of motocross kids? Why do they
Yeah.
look so cool? I want to join them.
They're the super cool. You don't see them ever do motocross. You just see them just hanging out on their bikes in their full regalia, which, ostensibly is really rad.
They look incredible.
They look so cool.
Yeah, I like all the exhibits. I like him interrogating everyone he knows around town until he talks to the cop lady and realizes that the first conversation he has in the movie is with his like rich spoiled frenemy whose birthday it is, whose name is, oh god, what's his name? I need to pull up the page for this.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. I think
Francis.
yeah, I forget when that comes up. It's either after the exhibits or before.
He's with the cop lady and he remembers that Francis wanted his bike for his birthday. And so he goes to Francis's house, who, let's just say it now, is played by the same actor who plays Older Stillwell in A League of Their Own. Justin, the scream that I screamed, you are on mute right
I
now.
hooped and hollered so bad when he came on screen, because we watched Pee-wee first and then we watched League of Their Own.
I did it the other way around.
So towards the end of League of Their Own, I'm like, God, like how are we gonna tie these two movies together? Like
Same.
I don't even know.
And then
And
just
then
sign from God.
Older Stillwell comes up and I'm like, no! No way! Oh my God, it is a sign. This
Like,
is incredible.
10 or so years between these movies and sharing
Yeah.
the same actor in kind of a relatively big part. Incredible.
Like, what are the, and it's kind of like, he's kind of like in silhouette. Like, you kind of just see the back of him for a second, and then like he turns and reveals. So, like, it's kind of like, I don't know, cosmic in a way.
Oh my God. I
fucking love it.
wonder which. I would love to go back and experience like both reveals because I wonder if your reveal was better than mine. I had like a moment of like the heavens opening up and I was like, that's Stillwell. I can't believe this is happening right now.
Yeah, like, because that was the last movie we watched, and I'm just like, I don't even know how to draw a line at all.
There's no
Dotted. There's no line between these two movies. And then, I mean, and this is in the final 5 minutes of A League of Their Own. And
It's
the
beautiful.
emotions already heightened during that whole scene. So, like, as soon as it happens, it kind of like brings it back down because thank God, because I was about to cry. And it's just so good. I'm just like, fucking Stillwell, you got it, motherfucker. So cool.
Justin's back on the God bandwagon.
Please
we
maybe the Black Power
we
Ranger
fixed the Black Power Ranger issue.
conundrum. Yeah.
Okay. So
Yeah,
Pee-wee goes to Francis's house. I love how big Francis's bathtub is. Again, it's just like this heightened visual where Francis lives in this very like what are they called? Like mini mansions, like they have on Arrested Development. These like mansions where like you're in the middle of suburbia, so it's not like an actual mansion. McMansions.
Right.
And you go in and it looks like fucking Donald Trump's like bedroom. And he's in this like ivory pool basically, and they have this like extended fight sequence where just something demonic just kind of jumps out of Pee-wee's eyes a little bit, and he's going in. It's like, is he going to drown Francis over this bike?
He was about to. I love it. If not for his butler or bodyguard or whatever breaks in, which is so funny. But yeah, I loved that. I love that bathtub scene because it's just so absurd.
Hmm.
But again, like that's like another kid's dream of just like I want a giant swimming pool to
Oh my
take a
god,
bath in.
I
Like
want that bathtub.
to have and being like a Godzilla monster with all the ships and stuff like that is that's
Absolutely.
that's what kids do in the tub, but it's tub sized.
Hmm.
Um, so cool. Love that.
And then, so he is told Francis doesn't have the bike. Although we find out in kind of like a weird side scene that it was Francis who stole the bike, and it's kind of
Yeah.
just tossed off, and it's like whatever. And then the
Mhm.
guy Francis paid to steal the bike gets his money, but then just like trashes the bike, and so the bike goes on its own little journey.
Mhm.
But Pee Wee goes to this hack fortune teller. I love the back and forth here where she somehow gets a hold of his wallet and kind of makes all of the right assumptions based off of that
Mhm.
and lands on like Kaiser Soze style. Like, you need to go to the
Dude.
basement of the Alamo.
And he's like, "Yes, thank you."
Which,
Which is so
like,
funny.
did they get like a tax incentive to go to the Alamo? It's such a random place to go to.
I didn't look that up to see if they actually shot on location at the Alamo.
Surely they did. Like, it's they show like the exterior of all that, which, by the way, is congeniality culture. This movie connected to a lot
It
of
really
our
does.
movies
Yeah.
that we watched in weird
Sur-
ways.
Surprisingly, yeah.
Hmm.
Um, and I've been to the Alamo. I've taken a school field trip to the Alamo. Pretty
How is
sure.
the Alamo? Is it?
Forgettable. I don't remember a damn thing.
Come on, that's too easy. Is it like big in Texas culture? Like, do you have like a unit in middle school dedicated to the Alamo or something like that?
I do remember like a specific like I don't know how long it was, weeks at least of like the history of the Alamo and here's
Right.
what happened here. But of course they sugarcoat it and whitewash it and all that kind of a thing.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Horrifying what actually happened there, but
What? Give me such the cliff notes, but like, what did actually happen at the Alamo?
um the Spanish Mexicans were trying to take back their the Alamo was theirs.
Right.
Most of Texas used to belong to Mexico.
I
Um,
figured. Yeah.
and a lot of the West and all that kind of stuff. So they were trying to take it back, but the Americans persevered and slaughtered everybody. Um,
Yes. They were
uh,
like, we designed this Adobe
this is
style
yeah,
architecture.
this is ours. So we claim this for ourselves. Yeah, just typical American brutalist bullshit. So yeah, that's pretty much what
Incredible.
happened. Yeah,
Little Alamo corner.
Lil Alamo
So he's making his way to the Alamo.
across
I
America.
I don't know when I put it, but at some point in my notes, I just put Elfman is popping off because he's so just the understated hero of this movie. Danny Elfman just providing the most insane scoring behind all of this. And you're saying
Hmm.
this is like what his first film?
His first one.
He's
He had
he's
never done
going crazy with like 100 trumpets or something like that.
He's like, I guess this is how you do a film score. 90 trumpets and 50 trombones. Bum 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 bum
It
bum bum
really
bum bum bum.
is.
And he's just
It's
going for it.
it's
Um,
like it's what is it called? Like sousaphone. What is the thing where it's like a bunch of like trumpets and stuff put together? Oh
an
God,
orchestra?
no.
You mean an orchestra, my dude?
I'm gonna find the word and I'll
You
get
find the
back to you.
word.
Yeah.
You find the word. But yeah, so it's kind of yeah, a collaboration obviously of sorts between these like relative unknowns to
Hmm.
kind of make such a magic movie. Paul Rubens and I think Tim Burton were also big fans of Danny Elfman's band in the 80s, Oingo Boingo. If you've never listened to Oingo Boingo, I highly recommend because it slaps. Um, but like, what a weird thing of so you drew the line to Blippy, and we'll go ahead and just go ahead and do that. So imagine if Blippy saw some director make, some random director on TikTok who's making these small indie films or whatever. Blippy says, "I want that guy to direct a movie." And this, let's see, who's an equivalent of Danny, a contemporary equivalent?
Contemporary equivalent of Danny Elfman.
I don't know.
So kind of like someone in a band who has like transitioned over to film scoring.
So like maybe imagine, maybe like Haley Williams from
Ooh.
Paramore,
Oh my God. Yes.
right? Well, maybe not so like catapulted to stardom, but like maybe like Haley Williams like 10 years ago.
Danny Elfman
Um,
can sing though. Like that's a whole thing.
that is a whole thing. So like that kind of a thing of like I want you to do a whole score. I want you to direct a whole ass movie for me for
Yeah.
this relatively unknown, very niche character that I've come up with, and you get this. Um, it was lightning in a bottle. There's no way you could recreate this.
Yeah. I mean, you can see just immediately the foundations of their partnership
Hmm.
forming, and
Yeah,
you can see how this grows into the movies that Tim Burton creates over the next couple decades.
decades. Yeah.
This mixture of like again like these like vaguely dark themes, some darker than others, but like mixed with these extremely heightened musical moments, extremely heightened visuals, very like colorful movies. His movies are always like surprisingly colorful, even though you always think of Tim Burton, you think of like grays
The
and
Corpse
blacks and
Bride.
whites and
Yeah.
Corpse Bride and Helena Bonham Carter and
Yeah,
stuff.
he's got those two sides of him. He's got the, you know, Nightmare Before Christmas aesthetic,
Hmm.
Corpse Bride kind of look, but then he also has this hyper realistic kind of like turn of the century mid mod kind of thing with
He
um
loves like a
Edward
70s and
Scissorhands.
80s like suburban
Yeah,
type
it's
of
it's
aesthetic.
it's you know what it is, drawing another parallel to another movie we've
Do
done.
it.
Little Shop of Horrors,
Hmm. I was also going to
when
say Gremlins. Yeah, go ahead.
when Audrey has her daydream about how her and Seymour are going to get married and move out to the suburbs. It
Yes.
is that aesthetic. It's liminal space.
Yeah.
It's that whole
It's Truman
hashtag.
Show. Like you're in a massive field with a big bright sky background, but the bright sky background is like a wall that's
Yeah.
blue, you know, and the grass is turf.
I will say I love the whole liminal space aesthetic.
Hmm.
I love going down the rabbit hole of like the back rooms and things.
Oh my god.
Um, but a movie I've never seen before and I really want to because it fully encapsulates that whole thing is Toys from the 80s starring Robin Williams.
Justin, I have never seen that before either, but like from the little clips I have seen, I thought about that the whole time I was
Yeah.
watching this.
I was
Toys,
like,
like with
I want to live there.
Joan Cusack in like the little like plastic wig
Hmm.
looking thing, and then
Yeah.
Robin Williams is like wearing a little bowler hat,
Yeah. 100%.
and everyone again is like there's like six colors in the whole movie, and everyone's wearing them.
And they're all turned up to 11 of just like the brightness contrast scale.
Yeah,
Incredible.
you can imagine all of these characters in the Pee Wee movie having like a wind up piece behind them,
Mm-hmm.
and they all just kind of like go on their little paths and interact that way.
Yeah.
Uh,
But don't like acknowledge that things feel weird or look weird,
mhm.
or else it'll take a dark turn, like this movie does it a couple times. Um, Specifically, I remember it's always like burned in my brain. I've never been scared of clowns. I'm not chlorophobic or whatever it is.
Mhm.
Um, but the visuals of the clowns in this movie,
The
for
clowns are a
some
bit much. Yeah.
terrifying. Like the clown that he ties his bike up to when it's missing and like all the bike chains are just like ripped off and stuff and the clown kind of looks like it.
Yeah.
Horrifying. And
It's always the teeth.
it's always the teeth. Like a clown shouldn't have sharp teeth, of course. And then it's like his nightmare sequence after his his motorcycle accident, which is like it looks like something out of Beetlejuice. Um, the clown's picking up the pieces of the bike and the doctor with the sharp teeth mouth and like terrifying stuff. I remember that vividly.
Hmm.
But it never like scared me. I love clown shit, but
I mean, there is like a very famous scare in this movie that we're going to get to in a second.
mm,
Um, but he gets on the road,
he
right?
gets on the road.
He gets like a few different companions on the road, starting with what is his name? Mickey.
Mm.
So he flags down Mickey, who is so obviously a criminal running from the law. Pee Wee doesn't get it at all until he does, which again is like something I kind of love, where
Hmm.
he's like kind of immediately game for it, where like Mickey like is playing the radio and you hear like a little police scan saying that they're looking for him, and he turns it off really quickly, and Pee Wee's kind of trying to play it cool because he's kind of scared, and then he just turns to Mickey and he's like, "So what did you do?"
Yeah. And I always thought that the gag was like what he says at face value, but upon this most recent rewatch, like when he turns off the radio, they're saying like he's armed and dangerous, first of all. But then like he asked him what he did, and he's like, so then I took a knife, and I was like, holy shit, he actually killed somebody. This motherfucker like did somebody in. Um,
uh,
Incredible.
Incredible. And then you have the funny gag where they hit the police stop in the middle of the road, and Pee Wee has to dress up as a woman and pretend that he is Mickey's wife, which is fun. And the policeman randomly makes him get out of the car to admire his dress, and then they
I
just
love it.
keep going.
My
Um,
my first like introduction to drag, and I'm just like, yes, bitch, I love it.
you believe that Pee Wee just like constantly carries around a bag of just tricks
Yeah,
in all of his journeys.
yeah.
Um, and so at some point they switch up the who's driving the car, and Pee Wee accidentally drives off the road, and they have like an extended 30-second just falling through air sequence.
Yeah, it's very. This was a note I had. Like a lot of scenes in this movie, like are very like Looney Tunes,
Oh,
um,
completely.
Looney Tunes esque. Like the falling for 40 seconds through the air off a cliff, them screaming, looking down, hugging each other, looking at each other, and then pushing away. Like very cartoon, very Looney Tunes. I love it.
Falling, and then like full chitty chitty bang bang with like the car just like having a parachute in its back little hood section.
It's the
Um,
it's the it's the roof,
yeah.
but it acts like a parachute. Love it.
And then Pee Wee gets kicked out of the car. Mickey's gone, and then he gets picked up by. I mean, is this Large Marge? Are
There's
we
a
at the
large
Large
march.
Marge point?
There's a large march.
Okay, so I have always known of Large Marge as just like a name in
Mm,
pop culture. I never
mhm.
fully connected it to this movie until like in the moment as it was happening. I was like, oh my God, this
This is
is
about to
Large
happen.
Marge. I knew like something happens related to Large Marge that is like traumatizing an entire generation. I didn't really know what it was.
Oh my god.
Um, and then so Large Marge is this like trucker character who's an older woman who picks up Pee Wee, and they're kind of riding along the highway in the dark, and you get kind of these signs that she may be a murderer, maybe a ghost, and then you get basically the first glimpse of like something that Tim Burton really like gets a handle on in later movies is like that stop motion Beetlejuice style, like eyes popping out, wrinkled raisin face corpse,
Yeah.
where
Uh-huh.
like she turns to him and her face just like bulges out, right?
Ooh. Yeah.
Which again, like I can see that traumatizing just a generation of American youth.
Yeah. Yeah.
How did you survive that one?
Like this. Wiping it through my fingers. 100%. Like that part always spooked the shit out of me. Um anytime it would come on, like I couldn't like bring myself to see it because it just like creeped me out so much.
Yeah. You can imagine like Large Marge and gossip about Large Marge just making its way through the hallways of schools before people watch Pee Wee Herman. Like, watch out for the Large Marge scene.
Like, can you imagine taking your kid to see that movie and like this is like halfway through or like a third of the way through and like kids like losing their mind
Being
and you
like,
have
what
to
the
leave,
fuck is
just
this?
crying, screaming, like what is happening, and like having to leave. Like, yeah,
uh,
crazy.
Quick timeout. Are you at the point with your child where you
Mm.
can take them to like see a movie yet? What do we think is the age there?
We are gonna go see our very first
Shut up.
feature-length film
Shut
as a
up.
family next weekend. We're gonna see the Gabby's Dollhouse movie.
I have seen posters for that.
We are very
Um,
excited. We are a very big Gabby's Dollhouse household. Um, we're very excited. And,
mhm.
we're trying to explain the concept of going to a movie theater and watching a full-length movie to like an almost 4-year-old is so hard.
Mhm.
So it's like, okay, so how
Because
we watch movies sometimes at home, and on I can count on two hands how many times we finished a whole movie
right.
in one sitting, maybe one hand. Um, so it's like, so you go to a place and it's this really big room, and they play a movie and it's really dark, and the screen is like, how our TV's really big, but it's like as big as our house, right? And you know how sometimes we turn up the volume a little bit when we want to dance to a song. Well, the sound is really really loud in a movie theater, and you have to
It's
sit still the whole time, and you
it's
can't get up.
it's kind of prepping them for like a roller coaster in a little bit.
Well, my kid can ride a roller coaster, and she has
Oh
at
my god.
Universal Studios. She's a pro.
What roller coaster did she ride at Universal Studios?
She can ride the Troller Coaster. Um, that's the Trolls roller coaster in Universal Studios.
Hell yeah. So
Um,
she gets it.
she gets it,
Yeah.
but a roller coaster is over in 2 minutes, not 90. Um,
Oh, that goes by in a blink. You know what I
yeah.
used to be afraid of in movie theaters? Like when they did the Regal, like before the movie thing, where you're kind
Mhm.
of on a roller coaster and then it
I
goes up.
love that.
It goes up into like the sky. This
You get
this
a
was
picture.
like early 2000s.
Yeah.
I didn't like how like wide and expansive it was out in the sky. I got almost like a fear of heights, some sort of weird version of that.
Yeah.
So
That
just
makes sense.
look out for that.
Look out for that. No, I don't know if they still do
Take her
Nicole Kidman
take her
at
to
the
a nice
beginning.
landmark.
We need to find a Cinemark, I think, so we can get the popcorn buckets.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, we're excited for that, a landmark event
Oh
for
my god.
sure.
That is
Um,
incredible, Justin.
but this movie, Pee Wee's Big Adventure, was a home movie, was a VHS repeat for me.
Yeah.
Um, like I wore that thing out. I watched it so much. And looking back, like truly an insane movie to let a child watch. Truly, truly, so many insane things happen.
Did you emulate Pee Wee at all in your life? What did you think about Pee Wee?
I was very reserved as a kid.
Really?
Yeah, I wasn't rambunctious, overly. I was more, internal with my creativity and things like that. I wasn't very outward.
Oh,
Um, So, trying to emulate a Pee-wee was not my thing. I liked the visuals. Maybe on a deeper level, I liked the music and
hmm.
things. And then, of course, like the things I've talked about. Like it's just like, a super rad bike that you love, going on adventures, um, and then just like maybe a little bit of weird, spooky shit every so often.
It is kind of the perfect balance of all those things.
Mm-hmm.
I like the concept of um, this is just a note that I have. I like the movie logic of like having to work off your debt in a restaurant if you can't pay for it.
Yeah.
That feels like one of those things where it's like you know how they always talk about like quicksand was a bigger deal in my childhood than it is in real life.
Yeah.
Like I feel like I encountered this concept a lot in my childhood of like, oh, I don't have any money to pay for my meal. I have to go work out in the dishes.
You have to wash all these dishes to earn my keep.
uh,
Which
which
is a
is
thing, a very 80s thing. Like you can't do that
yeah.
these days. They'll call the cops on you.
Yeah, you have like Venmo and stuff, but it is how he meets Simone, who I wrote seems very nice.
Love Simone.
I like Simone.
Simone is a diamond in the rough. She's got big dreams, aspirations. I love that scene. You know, we kind of talk about like Pee Wee being a man child, but kind of coming upon some of these like more adult situations every so often, or being faced with adult realities.
Mm-hmm.
I love that interaction between him and Simone. They're just having a conversation in the not the dragon, the dinosaur head.
Mm-hmm.
And she's just, like, do you ever have dreams? Like, I have dreams. I'm going to go to Paris. I want to see the world. I'm going to do all this stuff. And it's a really nice scene.
It really is where I get the most like, oh, indie movie from the 2000s, the 2010s. Like, of course, they're having this like Juno-esque conversation in some dinosaur head out in the desert.
Yeah.
And yet it does tie in with the Tim Burton aesthetic completely. It's like having this like very rugged natural landscape, and suddenly there's like this massive red plastic dinosaur in the middle of it.
It's such a fun juxtaposition, and you love to see it, which I believe those things are real, or were, like two like legit landmarks.
I've heard about the dinosaurs in the desert. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're
So
out
cool.
there.
Love it. Dinosaurs are out there. But yeah, Simone is a treat. I love that we see her multiple times throughout the movie.
I like that Simone comes back. I like that Simone wants to speak French and go to Paris, and she eventually leaves her silent, tall, brooding boyfriend, who becomes like a recurring villain, basically chasing Pee Wee down like the angel of death in this movie.
Yeah.
But
Truly,
he does
like a terrifying man. He's like the Mountain from Game of Thrones.
Yes. You just know that like if he ever catches Pee Wee, he is going to smash his skull open with just his hands.
Like the Mountain Wind and fucking Pedro Pascal, yeah. 100%.
You get to the Alamo finally, and Pee Wee, you have this like fun sequence where like the tour guide at the Alamo won't really let him ask questions, and there's not a basement at the Alamo. The fortune teller completely lied to you. And so you kind of just like turn around and he goes back home to wherever home is. But he runs into the bike gang along the way.
Yep.
And what is the song that he dances to like get on the good side of the bike riders after knocking down all their bikes? Tequila.
Tequila.
Yeah. I like his little dance up on the bar. It's so stupid. It's so
iconic. It is another one of those things that, like, whether you know this movie or not, it's a thing that you know about Pee Wee Herman.
Mm-hmm.
Speaking of like this, that's what I'm drinking. I'm drinking a tequila old fashioned. Tequila old fashioned.
Yeah.
It's delightful. It's really, really good. I had to do it. Tequila, just such a fun scene. It's so funny. It has one of my favorite side characters. Kind of gave me interesting feelings of like, ooh, what is she gonna do to him? With Cassandra Peterson.
Oh, the random like blonde.
Yeah, of like, how about you let me have him first? Just like,
what's happening?
What's she gonna do to him?
She gonna smack him around a little bit?
Yeah, but yeah, that's Lady of the Night. That is Queen of the Night. That is Elvira.
That's Elvira.
Mm-hmm.
No way.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Fun little Easter egg in the magic shop. There's a poster of Elvira on the wall.
Oh, that's so fun.
Love that.
Okay, I got to go back and rewatch.
So fun.
I love when he gets on, like he wins the bike gang over, and they give him a bike, and it's just this like single wide shot of him riding off on the bike, and he just gets closer and closer to this billboard, and you're like, he's not gonna do it, and then he just drives right through. Like it just, and then it just fades to black. It's so good.
Yeah. And then you get that horrifying nightmare fuel scene of the clowns.
Horrifying nightmare. And then again, I guess in like classic '80s formula, the movie just like goes full Hollywood, and we circle back to the bike. He sees the bike on TV being won by this like little child star.
Hmm.
And so he knows he has to like go to the WB lot on
Yeah,
Hollywood.
right.
And I I love the little kid in this.
Oh, he's great.
He's the brother in like Wonder Years.
Wonder Years, yeah.
He's got that little scene in Back to the Future. Um and I love the scene of he's playing this child actor in like some sort of combination of The Sound of Music and Oliver, where like
Yeah.
he has the bike in this scene on this lot with a bunch of nuns, and they're all being so shitty to each other, and
Nuns.
he's such a little diva. Nuns, so
Nuns
many
again.
connections. And then the director yells action, and they're like hugging and stuff, and like sharing this like heartfelt goodbye, and they hate each other. It's so good. And then Pee-wee comes on disguised as one of the nuns. He steals the bike, and then you get this like really extended sequence of him just like trashing every movie and music video set in Hollywood, trying to get away.
So
It's
good.
so fun.
It is so fun. And just like I love a quintessential kind of like a montage. It's a kind of a feel to it of just like different wacky things that he can get into. It's
Mhm.
very, Ferris Bueller kind of a
Mhm.
thing, running through the backyards and stuff. Like I love it so much.
Mhm.
The Godzilla movie, the space flick, and the music video, and swinging on a vine, and then he eventually escapes.
He eventually escapes. There's this like extended sequence where a fire breaks out in this pet shop, and he
Hmm.
has to like go in and out and save a bunch of pets. Which is funny because he like saves all the cute and fuzzy ones first, and every time he goes back in, you see him like glancing over at the snakes, and he doesn't want to save them. And it happens like 3 or 4 times, and finally he comes out with like a handful of snakes. He saves all the snakes. That's fun.
It's so
And
fun.
then one of the movie people notices him, and he gets a movie deal, as should happen with all of us.
Yeah, right. Like that doesn't happen in real life. People don't go, "We heard your story and we loved it so much."
You owe us $6 million in
Yeah,
insurance claims.
yeah. But we're gonna make triple that, quadruple that, sextuple that if we just make a movie based on like the amount of like legalese and legal documents he had to sign to like waive his rights as a person and like all his individuality away
It's
for them to
incredible.
make a movie is so fun.
It's incredible. And then I think at that point, the movie's kind of wrapping up. We switch over to like, they have filmed a movie about his life, and we're all watching it at the drive-in theater. I love the sequence of like, he goes to the concession stand and comes out with like this armful of stuff, and you spend the next like 10 minutes of him like handing out everyone's order to all of the people that he's met along his trip. They all came to the drive-in to
It's
watch
so
him.
great. I love it.
All like the hobos, the motorcycle gangs,
Hmm.
Simone, all that stuff. And then it ends with him back with what is her name? Dottie.
Dottie.
And him and Daddy right off. So fun.
So fun. I love they made essentially like a James Bond type of movie out of his story, and it's
Mhm.
James Brolin. And fuck, I can't remember her name. I want to say it's not Heather Locklear, but it's
Hang
I
on,
don't remember
hang
her name.
on. I got it. I got it. I got it. Is it James
Tell me.
Brolin as
As P.W. Herman.
shit? James Brolin, Morgan Fairchild.
Morgan Fairchild. Yeah.
Wow,
It's
very
so it's
fun.
so ridiculous. Um Calling him PW is so great. So silly.
um, yeah, I
But yeah,
had he has the cameo in the middle of the movie, and he can't stop glancing right down the camera lens, and
Yeah.
I kept on laughing at that.
Love a fourth wall break. He's
Just
just so excited.
the subtle way he's doing it, where you can tell he's actually like trying not to, but he can't stop looking directly at the camera.
He's just so excited to be in a movie. And I love that for him because a kid would do that. A kid would 100% do that.
uh
But
okay.
yeah, some of the themes that I picked out of this movie, Pee Wee's kind of an asshole, but that's okay because we love
It's
him anyway.
it's a saving moment of this movie is that he's not just this like weird angelic figure or innocent. Like there's some normality to him. He's just living on his own little wavelength.
Yeah, it's super great, but also contrasted with that is like sort of that little bit of loss of innocence, sort of, which we've talked about. Like he kind of comes against adult themes and like real I don't know, like adversity and things like that. A burning down pet store is terrifying, horrifying, but he's the hero. Um, his bike is stolen, a thing that he loves in a pretty gnarly way, and he has to go and find it. But it's showing kids that like failures and things like that can happen,
Mm-hmm.
but ultimately, if you just like keep on trucking, eventually you'll get a movie made about you, and everything will be fine.
That is the lesson to walk away from this.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh,
What did you?
fantastic.
What were some of your main takeaways of this? Sounds like you had a good time.
Again, I had a unexpectedly good time. I like living in the aesthetic of this movie.
Mm,
It's kind of like there's a tackiness and a stickiness to it. It's the movie version of pink flamingos in your lawn.
yeah,
But there's something fun and throwbacky about that too. And again, like the character of Pee Wee Herman, I knew little about other than the throwaway clip from Family Guy where he pops out in the middle of like Return of the Jedi. Um, uh,
yeah.
like when they do the whole like Ewok planet and Pee Wee Herman's there looking for his bike. Um,
My bike.
that is like the most I knew about Pee Wee Herman and his bike. But uh, I was able to kind of get on board with him as the movie went along because there's not there's not like a relatability in the way like he relates to the world around him
Hmm.
or his
Yeah.
little fucking annoying little laugh.
Hmm.
But I like the ups and downs that he goes through and like
Yeah.
how he's not afraid to show that. It very much reminded me of like my little 3-year-old nephew that I live near right now.
Yeah.
He's very Pee Wee Herman esque in that way.
I love that.
So it's like, yeah, how do we make a successful movie that kind of emulates a 3-year-old? Which
Yeah.
is a fun little experiment.
It's very, heightened kid lenses. It's all that fun stuff that, childhood is all about. Adventure, self-discovery, but,
Mm-hmm.
it's not without its real true dangers. It's not without its realism, realness.
It's it's about like not being able to hold back your emotions while also figuring out how to be kind of like snarky and sarcastic in moments because that's almost like new to you and you're
Yeah.
figuring out how to use that.
Yeah. I just love how much he cuts down Francis, his neighbor, of just like the classic, it's like, I know you are, but what am I? I know you
Man,
are, but what am I? Infinity.
fuck
Like,
Francis.
that guy sucks. But cool. I'm glad you enjoyed this movie. This was, one that I wore slap out. Same with, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. It is a good capstone to giving you a glimpse of like how I grew up and kind of how it shaped my worldview and kind of some of my creativity stuff. So it was fun sharing this with you.
Justin,
Um,
it's beautiful.
It's beautiful. Now
Let's
let's
pivot over.
let's 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 do something fun.
Uh-huh.
Play a
Oh
game.
God.
Play a game called a Trivial Pursuit.
I hate that.
It's a classic, how well did you pay attention type of game for a final send off to this podcast. Um, Real simple. The rules are simple. I'm going to ask you a question. It's not multiple choice. You just have to answer it, and it's simple. Did you get it right? Did you get it wrong?
Okay. I'm terrified.
You should be. Let's fucking go, Joe. Number one, what is Pee Wee's dog's name?
God damn it. He does say it multiple times. It starts with either like an S or a D. It's one of those little rat dogs. Oh God damn it.
It does start with an S.
It does start with an S.
Yeah, I'll give you partial credit for that because it doesn't start with a D, and there is no D in the name, but it does start with an S.
Okay. Give me the second letter and I will get it.
P.
Spud?
Close.
Okay, give it to me. Spec. Damn it.
Here, Spec.
You have to say it in his voice. That is the key.
Spec. Yep. Question 2. Who is Pee Wee's spoiled rich arch nemesis neighbor?
Oh, we know this. Francis.
Francis. You'll be sorry, Pee Wee Herman. Very menacing. Love it.
Yeah, he's terrifying.
Question 3. Dottie obviously is in love with Pee Wee. Where does she keep insisting he take her out on a date to?
She wants to go to the drive-in.
The drive-in, Pee Wee. E.G. Daly, Elizabeth Daly, the voice of Tommy Pickles.
Oh my God, is that her?
Yeah,
I can see it. Yeah,
she's got that.
She's got that like squeaky little like kind of deep voice like that. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely Tommy Pickles vibes. 100%.
Nice.
Question 4. Pee Wee is a regular at Mario's magic shop. Mario gives him 3 new items to try out. What were they? And bonus, if you can, where does he use them and which one did he not end up using?
He gives him like joke gum.
Mm-hmm.
Are we counting the ones that he like doesn't like? Because he kind of like rejects a few at the beginning.
He rejects a few, but he takes 3.
Okay. The joke gum. There's a bow tie that does something. And so is the implication here that he like uses all of these at some point in the movie?
So, based on that bonus question, he has 3 items that he purchases from Mario's magic shop. He uses 2 of them. He does not use one of them.
Gotcha. He definitely uses the joke gum with Francis and his dad because they end up like chewing tar or whatever the hell.
Incredible.
I don't think he uses the bow tie. So that's the one he doesn't use.
Okay.
And
question mark for the second one.
There's a second one, which is, does he use it with the convict guy?
Close.
He doesn't.
It is near that scene.
Oh, does he use a giant thumb to flag down cars?
He does use a giant thumb, but he didn't get it from Mario's magic shop.
Damn it.
I'm going to give you also partial credit for this one. The 3 items were the trick gum, the headlight glasses, and the red spinning bow tie. He doesn't use the bow tie.
That's right. There is that like fun little animated sequence where it's like him in the dark and it's just like his little animated eyes.
Yeah.
And then he uses the headlight glasses.
And he's surrounded by like jungle animals. It's so fun. Question 5. Where specifically does the fortune teller say Pee Wee's bike is located?
In the basement of the Alamo.
Basement of the Alamo. There's no basement in the Alamo. Love her. Number 6. For what crime was Mickey incarcerated for?
He cuts the tag off of a mattress.
It's just hilarious. Cutting the "do not remove" tag off of a mattress. So funny. And then he says, "I took a knife," and then those tags on mattresses that say "do not remove." Cut it off. Crazy. Question 7. What is the name of Simone's jealous boyfriend who wants to harm Pee-wee?
Oh God, I have no idea. So I'm going to say Zeke.
Ah, close. It is 4 letters. Andy. Andy.
Sure.
It's 4 letters.
Yeah.
Yeah. Question 8. Where does Pee-wee get his platform shoes before doing the iconic tequila dance?
Doesn't some girl there just kind of give it to him?
Close. It's the busboy.
The busboy?
Yeah.
The busboy gives him shoes?
Yeah, he either like whispers something in his ear or hands him something, and the busboy like takes off his shoes and hands him the shoe, and he's like noticeably shorter.
Oh, you're right. I do
Yep,
remember that.
real fun. Question 9. What animal assists Pee-wee in rescuing the other animals from the burning pet store?
It's a little chimp.
A chimpanzee. So fun. Helpful little guy.
Hmm.
Paul Rubens, really afraid of snakes, so hated doing this scene.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a crazy amount of snakes to hold in your hand for being afraid of snakes.
Yeah, right, isn't it? You're doing great, by
Thank
the way.
you.
Question 10. This is the last one. At the movie premiere, Pee-wee brings snacks to several people who he met along his big adventure. What does he bring Simone? Bonus. What? Wait.
I'm assuming
mind.
that's Simone's boyfriend's name.
Yeah.
So what is Simone's boyfriend's name and what does he bring Simone?
Mm-hmm.
He brings her. Okay, it's kind of a smaller box. It's not like full on popcorn. I don't think they'd be able to say like straight up brand names in this movie. I think it's kind of like a box of like Cracker Jacks or like a Whopper situation, or what is it called? You know, the little like milk
Milk duds kind of a thing.
yeah.
Well, okay. So put yourself in the seat of a child.
Uh-huh.
You know, some lady really wants to go to Paris.
Uh-huh.
What's one food item you can get from a concession stand that makes you think of Paris?
French toast.
Oh, close.
French. Oh, he brings her French fries. You're
French
so right. You're
fries.
so right. I can't
And
remember his name.
his name is Pierre.
Of course.
Pierre. So funny. So there's like a joke running around the internet of like, did she actually go to Paris, France, and pick up this guy who's wearing like a striped shirt and this hat, and his name is Pierre? Like, did she just go to Paris, France, or Paris, Texas, and pick up some dork?
That would be kind of perfect. She
That would be
did
real
go
funny.
to Paris. She wanted to go to Paris the whole time.
She didn't say, well, she was speaking French, but well done, Joe. You did it.
Oh my God. You had the well done Joe prepared, even if I didn't do a good job.
Yeah. That's how I do. How do I get rid of you?
I don't know.
Stop sharing. There we go.
There you
Okay.
go.
There we go. That was a trivial pea suit. I'm glad you hate the name so much.
It just sounds like pea soup.
Pea soup.
Yeah.
Which again, goes back to The Exorcist. So fun. Let's pivot and talk about A League of Their Own.
Yeah, Justin, we're an hour and 14 minutes into our podcast. Let's do our very first switch to another movie in the middle of this episode and talk about what I personally think is one of the greatest movies of all time. I'm very, very glad we were able to make it work that I saved this for my last episode. It's a movie that I grew up with. I've referenced many times. I lived in very much like a DVD and video cassette household. We didn't really have like TV in the house.
You
So
had
we
a TV, but
we
not.
had a TV, but not like channels, you know? So we had to survive off of like a very, very large, like several drawers worth of movies.
Drawers. Like I'm imagining like Shugagunk.
Yeah. I mean, if you die and you get to like revisit different areas of your life, I want to go back and see all the nights where we had to like vote on what movie we're watching, because I truly can't remember how that happened all those years ago between the 9 or so people in my household at any given point.
Joe, I gotta say, I don't always dream the same thing, but whenever I do, I'm always at this one specific house that we lived in growing up.
Yeah.
And it's always the same fucking house.
Yeah.
I'd like to imagine, kind of doing an interstellar kind of thing where you get to kind of 4D, 5D your way through your life and go through moments in time.
You're like banging on the wall. Yeah.
Yeah, they didn't bring us here to change time. TARS. But yeah, I love fucking TARS. I love that. I love the visual of all 12 of you Murphy kids piled around this TV of like, what are we gonna watch? I'm gonna watch this. I don't want to watch that. You watch this.
Listen, A League of Their Own came up often enough for it to be dubbed kind of like an iconic movie in my household. It fits into such a niche of like feel good movie with comedy and drama elements from the
surprise guest.
Surprise,
Joe.
I'm so glad because I have been thinking like we've technically had like a third host over our 3 years of
God, has it been
Universe.
3 years?
Ryan, yeah. We've never been on screen together. How are you?
We haven't. Usually you're on hiatus when I show up. I'm good.
Only when I'm on hiatus.
That's true. Yeah, you guys are truly the Legolas and Frodo of never exchanging lines together.
Oh my god. I love that fact.
It's so good. Joe, we have a distinguished guest.
That's better. Okay.
Full screen vibes. Incredible.
Wait. Are you guys coming from the same house? Like, where are you?
I'm in the living room.
Okay. I don't know if you're like on some sort of like business trip. I don't know. That's a fancy looking plant
Joe,
behind you.
What is my business?
What business does she do?
What business do I do? My business is baby.
You're trying to make this podcast go global. You're going door to door.
Which is real funny because this is the last episode. This is the Hail Mary. This is the Hail Mary episode.
Y'all never watched the Muppet movie. It's like,
Ryan's like, we got a back catalog from hell that we can sell out of this.
We did watch a Muppet movie. We watched Treasure Island.
We did.
Which was great. We were talking about, we just finished talking about Pee-wee and the strange connections that movie has with the rest of our catalog that we talked about.
Mm-hmm.
It shares similarities to I can't even remember. There's so many things that we talked about over the past hour and a half.
It's okay, Justin. No one's made it this far into the episode. We can say whatever we want.
Technically, yeah, no one has. We are recording live at the moment. It's great. But yeah, wanted to bring you on as a distinguished guest.
I see that. My tag says that.
Yeah.
I'm very distinguished.
You
are the CEO.
And Joe does UX design.
That's his business.
Listen, the platform that we record on only recently released the ability to like put your little tag next to your name, and we've been experimenting around with it. And I just decided to be
Joe.
A UX designer.
Professional in there.
Yeah, I've got my little bookcase behind me. Ryan, I am so over the moon that you are joining us. Like it, oh my gosh. We get to have a little 3-person episode as we go out into the eternal darkness. Ryan, did you watch A League of Their Own with Justin?
Yes, and actually, I've seen that movie, I don't know, 50 times.
Because it's incredible. Yes.
When I was a kid, I went to a daycare. It was like before and after school care, and then they kept me in the summer. And we saw that movie in the Dollar Theater like 150 times. Because now, as a grown-up, I know that the lady that kept us was a lesbian.
Wow.
And she was just very into the vibes.
Yeah.
But I've seen that movie a million times. Yeah.
Yeah. She'd be more into the TV show, which I'm going to get into. Did she take you to a theater as
we went to the do you remember in Snellville there was a Dollar Theater? Well, you grew up in the mountains.
I've never
There
been
was a
to
Dollar
Snellville,
Theater
yeah.
that when stuff was like, if it had been in the regular theater for a while, they would bring it to the Dollar Theater.
Oh my
and
God.
you could go see it for like a 99 cents or something.
I'd watch League of Their Own in the theater.
We saw it a bunch of times.
That seems like it seems like a perfect movie theater movie.
Yeah.
It's got, the cheering, happy high moments, and baseball sport movies usually do really well in theaters. So that seems like a good time.
Yeah, we had a good time with that. I can remember seeing Fern Gully.
Oh my God.
A bunch of times, and just running amok in this theater with the 8 or 9 other daycare kids that were there with me.
I was going to say, like, how many kids are we talking here?
Not a lot.
Still, 8 or 9 seems kind of insane. Like, what do you do if 1 or 2 of them has a problem with large Marge, but then the other 6 don't?
That's not the movie we saw.
This one, the only thing you got to worry about is like racy things that Madonna says.
Yeah, whatever Madonna
It's
says.
all
Innuendo.
Madonna.
Drunk Tom Hanks.
Oh yeah, with his piss, his epic piss.
Yeah.
Oh my God, y'all! I love this movie so much. League of Their Own, directed by Penny Marshall, starring a bunch of people we love. Released on a date, it made money. Let's
Several more dollars thanks to my daycare.
Several of those dollars were coming from Ryan's daycare. It was released in 1992. Let's give it some context. Gina Davis, Lori Petty, Tom Hanks, Madonna, a bunch of other people, John Lovitz, David Strathairn, Gary Marshall, Bill Pullman, Meg Kavanaugh, and I put Donald Trump nemesis Rosie O'Donnell as the final star here.
She was just featured, I saw when we were watching the credits. She wasn't even like...
She wasn't a name.
Starring Rosie. It was like, and Rosie's there.
God, I think this is like one of her first.
She's a
but
babe.
Even though she like had her talk show, like 4 years after this?
Yeah,
it was mid.
I can remember
90s.
watching it after school.
Insane.
Yeah, she's dynamite in this movie. I love Rosie O'Donnell's character.
Listen, we're gonna do this in such a backwards order. I'm just gonna give you like my little theories about this movie. I love how much time and like depth you get to spend with the little side characters in this movie. You obviously have like the folks on the poster, Gina Davis, Tom Hanks being some of the main ones. Madonna for the clout. You got to put Madonna on the poster.
Got to have Madonna.
Even though like Lori Petty's probably like the other lead here, but maybe not as much of a name. So her and Gina Davis being the sister characters, but then you get so many, again, like little episodes throughout the movie of these little side characters on their team that you kind of grow to love them. Like the little moment where Shirley, you find out she doesn't know how to read at the tryouts, and then all the times where Jimmy is like yelling at Alice for some random reason, I laugh my head off at.
I love the two juxtaposed scenes of the first one with the iconic "There's no crying in baseball," with at the very end of just like, you got to try harder, okay? Like, you gonna do better next time? Great.
I'm gonna say something crazy that may come up in our little like memory lane tribute. This is my favorite Tom Hanks. Like, I think this is peak Tom Hanks for me. And
this is your peak Tom Hanks?
This is like a year before Forrest Gump. How insane is that?
Wild, right? Then while he's doing Forrest Gump, he's recording
Toy Story.
Toy Story. Like,
that happened at the same time?
Yeah.
He's playing like a cooler in Forrest Gump. doing all this.
Yeah, crazy stuff. Yeah, this is a quintessential, going back and looking at this for the first time. This is such a fun role for him that I've never seen him in.
Hmm.
He's always kind of like more of the wholesome, clean-cut character. So it was fun to see him be like a shitty drunk guy,
Hmm.
like a real piece of shit. Um, he's just a good time.
I love when Tom Hanks gets to kind of like let loose and do his little like high pitched yelling a little bit, like in all of the scenes where he's drunk. But then, I mean, you mentioned it, the scene with Evelyn is kind of like one of the iconic moments from this film. There's
Yeah.
no crying in baseball becomes like the quote that goes down in history with this film. And there's, I promise I will get back on track with like the actual plot of this movie.
Joe,
But like,
fucking do it.
land this plane, Joe. There's so much like parallel like structure in this film of like recalling stuff that happens from a movie that's like so sneaky for such like a movie that seems so lighthearted. I'm gonna get into all of it. Let me kind of just set the table here a little bit. As with all good things, we open with Carole King. Who else was rocking out to this Carole King song at the beginning when we're looking at old Dottie? Raise your hand. Viewers, everyone raise their
I
hand.
can't. I'm holding the iPad. I can't raise anything.
I'm eating peanuts. Joe,
Well,
I roasted my own peanuts. I roasted and salted my own peanuts to put in a beer because we're talking about a baseball movie.
Oh my god damn it, I should have done 2 drinks too. I
There's still
did
time.
listen. I did a drink that I drank up entirely in our Pee-wee segment. It is what I'm calling the all the way maybe, because it is this drink. It's called I think it's like a Coopersville or a Cooperstown or something. We basically, I'm gonna spill the secret of my cocktails for the past 3 years. I don't have a creative bone in my body. Every time we come up with cocktails, I ask Jonathan to like come up with my cocktail for me. And he like is able to mix all the alcohol. And he looked up in this case like cocktails related to baseball, and there's one called like a Coopersville or a Cooperstown or something like that. And I was like, well, that doesn't work at all because that has nothing to do with A League of Their Own.
Yeah.
Until I looked at the facts for this movie, and the last scene where they're all like old and playing baseball is in Cooperstown.
Oh my God.
So I was like, full circle. You have got to be kidding me right now.
Matt
Gang's all
Hobbs.
here.
The gang's here.
Hello. It is I, the head of sales. It asked me what to put. It was like your name, Matt, and then there was another field next to it that was like head of sales.
And you're like,
Yes.
yes.
I accepted the job offer.
Are you
So
head
I'm
of sales?
officially the head of sales, and it's great to be here. Hi, Ryan, Justin, and Joe.
Oh my
Hi, Matt.
I'm gonna cry. Matt!
Hi, Joe.
Surprise, Joe. These are all of the guests, all 2 guests that we've had on this
All-
podcast
2 of our guests that we
over
have
the past
had
3 years.
on this podcast. My heart is so full.
Mm.
I know this is all just to like keep me from talking about A League of Their Own, but I'm so
Yeah.
happy.
Wait, is there a
Uh,
film? Is there a film slated?
Yeah,
2
Matt,
that
that's
we-
what we
that we
talk
talked
about.
Well, I didn't know if it was just like a round
Just a-
robin. I'm coming in hot. Anyway,
He
as
just
you
came off
were.
a sales call. He's
Yeah. with the sales team.
He's been crunching some numbers. Matt, this
guy.
is the last episode of our podcast. We had to end the podcast in September before certain things renewed, and we had to pay more money.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
So we kind
which
of
we're
had
not
to,
about.
we had to crunch some episodes together, and so
Okay.
we decided to end this with like a double header episode where Justin brought forth Pee-wee's Big Adventure, so naturally I brought forth A League of Their Own.
I love it.
We just
Have you
spent
seen-
about an
have you
hour
seen
talking
either
about
of those?
First. Yeah,
I've seen both.
nice.
Wonderful.
Both
Which-
a long time ago, but A League of Their Own was one of the ones that we had on VHS as a kid
Oh
because
my
someone
God.
taped it from the TV. And so I've
Ooh.
seen A League of Their Own a dozen times, probably, but a long time ago.
I also had A League of Their Own on VHS as a
Yeah.
kid.
Did you also obtain it illegally?
No, I bought it with American
No,
money
no.
at an American store when I was
They used to have it at
negative 2
American
years
I was
Eagle.
gonna
old.
say,
American
Ameri-
Eagle used to carry it, or American Apparel, actually.
For a moment
Oh.
there, that was like the only place you could buy A League of Their Own. It was actually like a terrible business decision.
Yeah,
what?
They bought all the VHS tapes back in the mid 90s. Just back when, they were doing their own thing.
Oh,
They had a real narrow market.
the
So Joe, before we push forward talking about the movie, I just wanted to bring in Ryan and Matt, as they both have played such a big role in this podcast over the past several years. Matt specifically as kind of the progenitor of this podcast, because in the late 2020s, you and I were sitting on Matt's porch and we were kicking it, drinking. And we said, hey, what if we did a podcast and showed Matt all of the MCU movies because he'd never seen them.
that's right.
And then kind of we just got the ball rolling from there. And then for a time, Ryan was like, like our social media person, posting updates.
Until I
and
deleted all my meta apps, and then y'all were on your own.
Then we were free flying. And then
oh my god.
but then also had Ryan on several episodes while Joe was out gallivanting across the world, and then
Doing the Joe thing.
really
I
do
sang a
appreciate
song.
that.
and then our special Bluey episode where Matt came on, and we talked about dogs and the
Glory.
things, and the lorries and the Barbies.
Oh my god. One of my favorites.
Yeah,
But yeah,
I think
Blue shirt.
we're missing a pretty big element here in that Justin and Matt originally broke it down in the studio to get our theme song as well.
Oh, that's
Mhm.
right.
yeah.
Like I would like the 6-hour HBO documentary around the making of that theme song. And
So unfortunately, we did not cut any content that day in terms of video, so it's going to have to be like reenacted.
it's
Yeah.
all
That's even
just
better.
talking
That's
head.
even better.
Poorly.
Even better, yeah. And it's going to be people who look nothing like Matt or myself.
Right.
It's talking heads, but you guys are in two clearly different locations because you're feuding.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
And
no.
Talking Heads does the soundtrack for the
He's still
film. You get David Byrne to play Justin.
David Byrne is Justin. He's kind of going wild on the bass in the studio, and Matt is like not feeling it. But at some point, he does break into something that is like beyond both of them creatively, and they both feel that.
Yeah, it's a very Beatles-esque kind of moment of McCarthy, and
Richard.
and Richard Lennon.
McCarthy.
Jesus Christ.
John Lennon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Joe McCarthy.
Job, my coffee. But yeah, I wanted to bring these two on, just to recognize, the the relative enormity that this thing kind of spun out of control over the past 3 years, and the fun that we'd had. And I just wanted them to come on and maybe say some things, and we could say some things back at them.
That's beautiful. I mean, that really was going to be part of my notes, is like this whole podcast came out of what was lovingly dubbed just porch hangs with the boys.
Yep.
And us trying to emulate that feeling on air for the rest of America. We were essentially trying to save America during a time
In
of great
Brussels,
stress.
right? We had some fans.
Shout out Brussels.
We had a large amount of fans that we continue to have in Brussels.
What's going on, Brussels?
Yeah.
What up, Brussels? they are going to be heartbroken. But these podcast episodes will live on in perpetuity on YouTube, as long as that they both shall live. Podcasting, on audio only may not, so that's fine.
That's kind of
How
the
many-
experiment we're running here.
How many episodes happened? Where's the count?
We are
Listen.
at
I know
59, I think.
I was gonna say
Yeah.
you said 3 years, but also I don't think we've crested 100 episodes. So
No,
the official count of episodes that is available on like Spotify or your Apple Podcast app is 59.
Right.
yeah,
There is one episode where we just talked about like the music that Justin had created during our podcast. So it's not really about a specific movie, but there's also 2 episodes that we never released that are about specific movies. So
Those are behind the paywall.
Those are behind the paywall.
which we never opened up.
It's $1 million a month, and you will get to hear us talk for about 4 hours about Gladiator and Scream.
Scream. Yep.
Wow.
Two
Yeah.
Seminal films.
Two unreleased Seminole Nation is on
just
the film.
rambling chaos
Yeah. Hey,
before they really found their footing.
if we could go back and change the name of this podcast, it would be Rambling Chaos,
Oh my god,
because that has been the thing.
it really should have been.
But yeah, I definitely wanted to recognize Matt for his Kickstarter ability to get this ball rolling, and of course lending us his expertise on cutting that demo, that track, and then coming in for a couple episodes or for an episode. It's been great. And then, of course, Ryan for many years of being a muse for cocktails and in-game ideas. Always fun to like share these movies, of course, with her as we watch these together in preparation. So a lot of times she has like fun things that I didn't pick up on, or fun things that like I'll say in the episode of just like, oh yeah, Ryan had this fun thing to say about this character. But yeah,
it's chaos in here. I don't know. I can't be held responsible for anything that comes in or out of my brain.
It was always a thought going through this whenever I like made y'all watch a movie. As part of my notes, I was like, what did Ryan think about this? Because I knew she was watching it alongside you the entire time.
Yeah. Good time.
Beautiful.
But yeah, as we go on to bigger and better things, maybe we'll come back around, we'll dust off, and we'll do a 4-way podcast, and we'll just talk about something else entirely.
Yeah.
But who knows? But
I can
Matt-
bring some sales expertise at that point.
Tell us what the
if
numbers
the
are doing.
floor is open, I'll start a roundtable discussion around a center of excellence with a.
Matt, Joe asked me if I was on a business trip.
Listen.
You could be in like a Marriott.
That is what I thought. I thought she's like in the chair in some random hotel.
She's in the cuck chair.
She's in the cuck chair.
This is our living room.
You have really nice plant behind you, really nice framed picture, really nice lamp. It's all like placed
Do you see what
very
it is?
nicely.
It's Mordor and the Shire in Rivendell. Yeah.
You're in a very specific hotel.
Yeah.
On the business trip.
God, man.
Well, congrats on 59 episodes and a journey. It's been a pleasure and it's really fun to watch y'all build and develop this. As a longtime listener and a porch host of your, it's been very inspiring to see y'all go on after it. Yeah, I think I don't know. I mean, I'm honored to be here on behalf of the sales team. If they were all here, there's a cohort. Look, let's stop for a second. There's a cohort of 18 very dedicated sales and lead gen reps working behind UCU that, it's a humbling experience for me to get to speak on their behalf at this table. And so, we got them pizza, but I get to come here.
You don't
Yeah.
you don't speak
who's the
for
real
them.
winner?
You speak because of them.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Their victories are your victories.
Look, it's service. This job, people, I sat down on a flight next to a young man fresh out of university. He said, "What's it like in sales?" And I said, "It's about service."
Are you writing a LinkedIn post right now?
It's going to be 4 paragraphs.
This is what it taught me about B2B sales.
Oh, don't even get me started on B2B.
B2B.
It's going to be 4 paragraphs. There's going to be 8 bit.ly links at the bottom of it. We're all
shout
going to
out Bitly.
like and love it.
Like,
I love
like, subscribe.
supporting. I love supporting a post on LinkedIn.
Is that one?
Yes,
Is this,
me
is
and
like
all
the
my
shrug?
business ventures.
Is there a shrug?
All up on the link.
The support.
It's a hand
is-
with a heart.
Yeah, like you're giving something.
Oh, I thought it was like the emoji that's like.
Thanks, Matt. Appreciate that.
No, for real.
Yeah, it's been good. Ryan, what say you? You've been with us since the beginning of just like, hey, we're gonna watch Gladiator because Joe and I are gonna do a podcast. I think, whatever
Yes.
that means or looks like. I'll be in the office for an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Yeah. We got to watch a lot of movies that we probably would not have watched. So that was really fun, expanding our repertoire
Our
of
culture.
movies and getting to, broaden Joe's palette too on just some weird fucked up shit that you watched as a
Yeah.
kid, unsupervised, running amok.
Yeah, pretty much.
But it's been fun. I enjoyed doing all the music and helping figure out the cocktails, and the games were a lot of fun.
That's right. We did have you as a guest vocalist on one of the songs that we did. The one that we did for Little Shop of Horrors.
Yeah.
Justin, you do genuinely need to release the album of covers that you have created for this podcast.
Should we like recut all the songs? Yeah, probably. Yeah, we can do
Just
that.
just
A new
Johnny
project.
Cash style, go very
Just an
low-key.
acoustic, just
Yeah.
an acoustic and a microphone, a 57. Yes, Matt, let's do it. Let's get the studio time.
Hey man,
Hey man, you talking about?
what?
Oh my god.
But yeah, lots of fun. I enjoyed the Ryan only episodes a bunch because most of the time it was like, how can I make this such a bummer for the two of us to watch these incredibly sad movies?
So the Ryan episodes, let me see if I could name them. They were
Are there
Terminator
3?
2,
Marley and Me, yeah.
Marley and Me,
Uh-huh.
Terminator 2, and Interstellar.
Marley and Me was
Yeah.
a revenge episode, kind of.
Oh, that's right, it was because I made her watch Interstellar first,
And I fucking bawled. So I made him watch a dog movie.
and I fucking bawled.
And I made him read the book.
Oh, that was worse.
God. In all of these episodes,
Shaking
I'm
in
just
bed,
like
crying,
out of the country
Yeah.
listening to them.
having fun, Joe, while we're crying on the air.
Crying about dogs and life.
Keeping it going. It was such a true just treasure to see where this podcast went from where it originally started and all the different alleyways we went down and turned back around and kept going and went down again. Not only just like seeing these movies that I knew I had to see to kind of like complete my culture, but also like getting an idea of literally just like little baby Justin growing up and all the movies that he was seeing, forming such a clear picture there, but then also realizing like how genuinely hard it is to do a podcast and almost like in like an improvisational like Toastmasters sense, like to keep the air filled with conversation. I love the rapport that we have established, Justin. It's been kind of magical to like take our friendship in that direction.
This podcast has opened up a lot of self-discovery, a lot, which I don't think a lot of podcasts can say. It's just a bunch of assholes talking about anything and everything to whoever will listen. This has been a good, kind of growing thing. I learned things about myself. You got me kind of interested in dungeon mastering that we did off a one-off episode that we did. What was it? Not Gremlins.
Krampus. You did the
Krampus.
DM.
Ah,
Yep.
yeah.
Krampus. Yeah. And you were like, you said, Justin, you're really good at this. And I was like, hey, yeah, okay, I'll keep trying this. So like fun things like that, like self-discovery,
Wow.
fun things like that.
He
Uh,
he put me through an entire Dungeons and Dragons mini scenario for our Krampus game. This was the only podcast that I recorded at Justin's house, and this is at like 12:30 in the morning.
Yeah.
Hour
Be after bedtime.
like 1
right.
hour and 15 minutes, kind of like a standard bit into the Krampus episode. He's like, yeah, we're gonna do this like quick little mini game. 45 minutes later, I'm like trying to make a decision around like dice and stuff around defeating like the 7th level of hell with Krampus.
Wow.
It was a lot of fun.
But you kept me hooked.
Kept you hooked, and it kept me hooked. So thank you.
I
Also,
love that.
Right? This is how it goes. Another thing I'd be remiss to say is that like this has been a fun parallel journey of like watching like our daughter grow up. We started recording this while she was taking naps.
Oh my
Back when she would take naps.
What a world.
Remember those days? my
Remember
dear?
those days.
Um,
She's in school, guys.
And now
She
she's
goes
in
to school every day.
Wow.
now she's in
It's
preschool.
wild.
It's crazy. And like, we go back and we do the Bob's Burgers episode, and there's one in there where it's about Bob potty training Tina, and we were potty training Jeannie at the time, so that one hit me like a fucking ton of bricks. This podcast has meant a lot to me personally, and I wanted to bring in these people to recognize and say thank you to both of you, Matt and Ryan, our head of sales and our distinguished guest. Much love. Can't do it.
I didn't get to
No, you
pick
did.
my name, so I can't be blamed for it.
Ah,
Yeah,
Justin.
I picked it.
magical.
Yeah.
That's
Um,
magical.
Yeah. So, all that to say, if you two want to stick around, you're more than welcome. Otherwise, Joe and I can land this plane and finish talking about A League of Their Own. And
A
Ryan,
league of their own.
we can go to bed soon.
Can't go on much longer.
I'll step away, but I'll leave you with this.
Mm.
Give me 1 second.
And then he was gone.
Oh, he's gonna
God.
play the theme song on ukulele.
He's pulling out a ukulele, folks.
All right.
He wrote lyrics.
All right, let's see if I can do this from memory. Ready? Batter up, hear that call. The time has come for one and all to play ball. Oh, we're the members of the All-American League. I've got the whole thing, but you gotta like.
We're not
You've
gonna
gotta
pay the
like
money.
and subscribe, and you've got to smash all the buttons, and you got to jump the paywall. I'm proud of y'all.
$1 million
I'm so
paywall.
proud of y'all. Congrats on 59,000 episodes,
So many.
and congrats on just the discovery and all the wonderful things it's led to. It's like a chapter of life.
It is.
I look back very fondly on those porch hangs.
Yep.
My life's changed a lot since y'all did this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Thanks for including me. Thanks for letting me be a awkward cousin as it relates to the UCUU universe. And I just love y'all. Thanks for
brother.
staying close and inspiring me.
Love you, brother.
Matt, love you so much.
Love y'all. And I'm going to go eat the rest of my food
Yum.
because I got home
Okay with it.
a moment ago. I played a show for someone who proposed to someone.
Hmm.
So it was a proposal. It was a fake show for my friend's
Oh,
friend.
wow.
And
That's
and
fun.
then they got my friend's girlfriend came in. It was just her in the audience. We rented out a theater. We had to sing a song. I just played keys while these people dressed up like horses and danced around. But she said
What?
yes.
Good.
Oh, thank God.
Thank God.
Yeah. And then I went to a rehearsal for a improvised musical show that I'm doing tomorrow. And then I just got home and I was excited to hop on. Oh, and then in an hour and 35 minutes, the cast album for Hot Jambalaya drops.
I saw
Hell
this.
yeah.
I'm very
Hell yeah.
excited.
So I might stay up until midnight, or I might just wake up early and look at it. But
Hell yeah.
that's just what's going on. And thanks for letting me drop in and sing the song from A League of Their Own.
Love it. Thanks, Matt. Go get those sales.
Much love. I'm gonna go close these sweet deals. I'll
Get your
talk to
numbers
y'all.
up.
Talk to y'all very soon.
Hey, talk to you tomorrow, Matt. Love you.
All right,
brother.
see you,
Love you,
talk.
brother. All right,
Have a good weekend.
Bye.
Oh my God.
Well, Joe, where did we leave off?
I don't
With
fucking know. League of
He
Their
kept
Own.
promising to talk about the movie, and then we kept fucking him up.
I love A League of Their Own, and I love you guys. Justin, that was beautiful. Thank you for doing that.
I could write a song, like I could write like a Elliott Smith sad acoustic version of our theme song, or I could just send a link to Ryan and Matt and tell them to come on and surprise Joe. Yeah, I'm gonna do that instead. Yeah, let's do that.
I always have Ryan and Matt just like in my orbit of this podcast because they are just like the other ring bearers in this situation who get to come on the fucking boat at the end.
Well, let's also not. You just called him out 30 minutes ago, but Jonathan playing a role of master craftsman, cocktailsman. He's a master cocksman over there of just making you drinks.
He's in bed right now. So we can think of him as kind of like the character in Home Improvement where you only ever see like his eyes.
Wilson.
Wilson.
Yeah, he's going to be our Wilson. Just know that like he is such a huge part of any preparation that I put into any of these episodes. He sometimes watches these movies with me and he sometimes gets annoyed and walked away. But he has so much like support and enthusiasm for all the stupid shit I do for this podcast. And I love him very much for it.
Oh.
And so many of like my best ideas when it comes to like cocktails and games and just thoughts over the past 3 years have come from him.
I love that. Some of my favorite memories are when we would do live episodes in your living room. He would be fucking around like on his 3D printer, just walking around, and like we'd say something and you would say something completely out of pocket, or I would, and he would just laugh in the other room, be like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" So fun, because we did several of those at your house. We did
we
did
did
Wong Fu over the garden wall. Yeah, we did over the garden
With the
wall.
Pumpkin Man.
Yep.
over the garden wall with the Pumpkin Man, Tu Wong Fu, and then Megan.
And Megan.
Yeah, I think those were the.
Oh, and Chicken Run.
Chicken Run. Oh my God, that was going to be my note. We're gonna do the whole like super quick like rapid fire retrospective. The audio on the Chicken Run episode is an absolute nightmare. Have you ever gone back and listened to it?
Some of these episodes are terrible sounding.
Something was happening that day with like the way we had the mic set up. It is almost like you can't hear what I am saying.
Yeah.
Kind of beautiful in that way.
Yeah. I think you touched on this. Like this podcast was a nice exercise in like improvisational skills of off the cuffness. Like we knew that from the beginning that we weren't going to like script this too much or follow too much of an outline, and just kind of just follow the beat of our own kind of drum or whatever we wanted to say at the time. So it's been a fun thing that way, kind of sharpening that skill.
I think we realized pretty quickly that neither of us have the time to edit episodes at all, too. So we're just going to stick that on the internet and go from there.
And just hope for the best, which honestly, I need to bring up the data of the podcast. So don't mind me. I'm going to find some stuff, but
Are you looking at like viewership numbers and stuff?
Yeah.
Listen, to justify my half of the episode while you do this, can I just give a quick plot description of A League of Their Own?
Let's talk about it.
Okay, A League of Their Own is about sisterhood, and it's about something we can all relate to, which is being so good at something that it becomes a curse and alienates your loved ones. So it starts out as a movie about the P. Oh God, what are the letters here? Girls Professional Baseball League, GPBL. Is that what they have on their little side thing?
I think there's like AA.
letters.
It's like
There's
AAGLP.
Yeah, it's based off of the real life like women's professional baseball league that they set up during the World War.
All American.
All American, yeah, because they got some Canadians in there. World War II. All the men were at war. They didn't want baseball.
All the men.
They
all
didn't
the
want
men.
baseball as a concept to die off, and so these like owners set up a women's league. And so we start off with that concept of like women are playing baseball. What has this world come to? They must play softball with the big ball. For some reason that is better. And so you get these two sisters in Oregon, Dottie and Kit, who get recruited by John Lovitz. You get a whole little chapter with John Lovitz, which is so fun.
I love John Lovett's character in this movie. He's such a creep, but I've always loved his characterization. I don't even know how to describe it. Just like he's kind of the same character in everything that he's in.
It's
but
just
it's so
his like
funny.
brash voice.
Yeah,
And
his
like
line delivery.
Attitude.
Yes, it's flippant. Yeah, his line delivery too is just so fucking funny. I love it so much.
What is the movie that he's in? Is it The Wedding Singer, where he's like Adam Sandler's nemesis, and he's like,
yeah,
the gig would be mine now, or whatever.
Yeah, he's losing his mind.
You get like 10 minutes of Lovitz with them getting recruited. Kit is the younger one, Dottie's the older one. Dottie's like beautiful, all-American, but also like happy with her life. Her husband's at war. Kit is her younger sister who feels like she's in Dottie's shadow and has to get out. And so Dottie agrees to join the league to go with Kit as well. They recruit Marla as well. Marla Hooch. Marla Hooch isn't a looker, but she's got the skill. And so they convince Mr. Capadino to take her as well. They get to Harvey Field, which is basically Wrigley Field, and they meet like this whole big cast of supporting characters who become their team, including Madonna and Rosie O'Donnell. And the actress who plays Shirley is Joan Cusack and John Cusack's sister.
Cusack?
Anne Cusack, I think, is her name. And you get this whole supporting cast, and then you round it off with Tom Hanks coming in as like this kind of drunk ex-baseball player who is recruited to become their coach and thinks they're kind of a joke. And he comes in. There's this totally fun like peeing moment where he shows up at their first game.
Just the most fun.
And pees in their locker room for like a minute and a half. And then basically the crux of the movie from there spirals between like they're going through these games, they're becoming closer as a team. Kit and Dottie are at odds because Kit feels like she's in her sister's shadow. Also, Jimmy, the coach, kind of becomes like more and more respectful towards the team because he comes to respect them as ball players because they're actually good and they have like passion for the sport. And he kind of becomes friends with Dottie because Dottie had to pick up the slack while he was being like drunk. You think like, is there something kind of weird and kind of romantic happening between Jimmy and Dottie? No, because she's married to Bill Pullman and no one can top that. And it all culminates in like Kit gets traded because the guy who runs the agency has like spotlighted Dottie as like the main person in the league who's going to save the league. And Dottie threatens to leave because she thinks she's like overshadowing Kit too much, but they end up trading Kit to get her out of the way. Kit goes to the other team. They all meet up in the World Series. Dottie's husband comes back. And so she kind of leaves for a bit, but she comes back in the very last game. It all comes to a head, and it becomes about like sister versus sister kind of at the bottom of the ninth of the World Series. Dottie's a catcher. Kit's a pitcher. Kit is up to bat. 2 strikes, 2 outs. She hits it. And then in like the most glorious moment, she keeps going past third, even though she's supposed to stop at third. They throw the ball to home. She runs into Dottie in a rule that I don't even know if this is an actual baseball rule, if it's made up. Dottie drops the ball, and so Kit actually scores, and they win the World Series, and it's beautiful.
I think if you drop the ball in slow motion, the other team wins.
I keep on bringing like tweets into this conversation, like we're a bunch of like Gen Zers, but like there's this tweet out there where it's like a girl becomes a woman the day she realizes Dottie Hinson dropped the ball on purpose at the end of A League of Their Own.
Because she wants her kid sister to win and stop being.
I don't know, Kit. I guess you just wanted it more.
It's beautiful.
It's true. That is what she says. It's thinking back on it, it is kind of a backhanded comment of like, I guess you wanted it more.
And then at the end, it's implied they haven't seen each other in like 40 years.
Yeah. So the movie is kind of like bookended by older Dottie going to like a team reunion in the 80s. And so it's like a bunch of older women getting inducted into the Baseball Hall of Fame, which is wonderful because you get like all of these older actresses who are like versions of the younger characters you've seen. The older Gina Davis casting is kind of amazing.
Perfect.
Yeah. But
what Ryan called this out.
Whoever played Kit casting is really good too.
They're all incredible. It's Gina Davis's voice though. Like she's doing like a voiceover.
That. Yeah.
Right.
I clocked that in the first few minutes. So I was like, are they making this lady lip sync to Gina Davis or is it dubbed? What's happening?
It's too close. It has to be a dub, but it still looks like really good. Yeah. And like just the look of all these characters is pretty great. And then you get this like huge swelling emotional moment. Hans Zimmer does the score. What the fuck? And then it's about sisterhood. It's about the price of greatness, and it's all bundled up in this wonderful movie that manages to have stakes and have like emotional depth while also coming off as like a blockbuster comedy drama in a way. They were doing such great things in the 90s.
Was this a blockbuster summer movie?
I'm so glad you asked. It was
had
released
to be a summer movie if I was there in daycare.
Oh, that's true. Well, maybe a spring movie to see it in the summertime.
I love that we were able to like Slumdog Millionaire the answer to that. It was released in July of 92. It made 132 million against a budget of 40. So yeah, we're doing pretty good.
Wow. That's incredible. This movie is so fun. The only things I knew were the pop culture references. I think I vaguely knew that Madonna was in it, but like I couldn't like picture her in it. And of course, there's no crying in baseball, the iconic line. But I always had the image in my head, or I thought that Tom Hanks was in this, and he was being Tom Hanks. I didn't realize he was a shitty, drunk, chlamydia-ridden monster.
Avoid the clap, Jimmy Dugan.
That's good advice. Yeah, it's so funny. Which is a fun thing for his character to play. Yeah, you mentioned Hans Zimmer. Hans Zimmer's doing the most.
So much.
Either the way the download or whatever. Anytime there's like a musical sequence, it's the loudest thing you've ever heard.
I mean, it's how do you score the World Series? You do it in these like massive swells as the crowd like rises to their feet. It's incredible.
You have to. But yeah, that was a surprise. Hans Zimmer bringing the heat. Penny Marshall directing the shit out of this movie. You have to have Penny Marshall do this kind of movie.
Penny Marshall, who had directed Tom Hanks in Big. You also have Gary Marshall in here, her brother. There's such like smart storytelling at play here that I noticed this time around. Like, there's a moment in the movie where, in one of like the several montages they do of just like the games that they're playing, as they go through like the league and stuff, you see a moment where like someone runs into Dottie. She's being a catcher, and she falls back, but she holds on to the ball, and she shows the ump like, oh, I held onto the ball. And so the ump is like, oh, you're out. And so that then ties into like the climactic moment at the end where it's like, oh, she just dropped the ball. Right. And then you obviously get like the double, like you said, like the double scenes of like Jimmy freaking out on right fielder Evelyn over throwing it to the wrong character. You get the classic there's no crying in baseball moment because he's treating her essentially like a boy.
He's treating her like dog shit.
And then you get a reverse of that scene in the World Series where she does a similar issue, but she's able to like take it a little bit better from him because she knows him more in that moment. And then he's also able to give the feedback a little bit more, even though you can tell like there's like this fury behind his eyes that he's like holding back, and like you can see Tom Hanks' like skull about to vibrate out of his body. It's incredible.
It's so good. I love /hate /loathe the like pro-war propaganda of the time that they're just hammering home of World War II is so insane. But I think it's so funny at the very beginning of, you know, they're like explaining like spinning up the league and all that kind of stuff. It's like, watch out, like, Mr. Hitler.
The black and white sequences, yeah.
Yeah. And then there's this line, I thought it was so funny, and it's such just like American media kind of propaganda sort of thing of just like, and the boys won't come back until it's over there. You know, like, don't bring the war over here. They're going over there. It's so funny.
I do love how it uses those like media moments to tell this deeper story in a way. You also get a moment of like the extremely conservative woman doing like a radio broadcast as they're doing tryouts where she's talking about like, oh, when the boys come back from the war, what will they come back to? Women wearing pants and throwing baseballs and stuff like that. Cue montage of all these tryouts and stuff.
Yeah,
it's such a, this movie has such a great way of like blending in montage and like media from the time to tell this story, this like kind of smaller story about these characters in a way.
Yeah. Who was the younger fella who was kind of like side running the gig, like Mr. Lowenthal or whatever, or
David Strathairn, Lowenstein.
Yeah. Lowenstein. You know, kind of a, you know, feminist of the time, you know, fighting for their you know, their ability to keep the league and seeing the, you know, the true potential kind of a thing. But you know, it's it should have been their moment at the end, but they're like, no, you can do it, man. You cut it. Kind of undercut it.
Well, and then when he has the epiphany of like, wait a minute, you're going to expect them to fill all these gaps. You want them to work in the factories, and you want them to do the baseball, and you want them to do all this stuff until the men come home, and then you're just going to shove them back in the kitchen? What the fuck? You could see that like hamster going in his brain like, I don't think that's, wait a minute.
Yeah. My brain is doing something. Like, it's not, this does not compute.
You kind of wonder like how many of these real conversations they had around like, oh, the lines between gender norms were so distinct at the time. What do we do in a time of war when we have to kind of cross over and then switch back immediately after war? It's you're dealing with these incredibly like powerful shifts in things that you're just expecting people to be totally okay with.
Just okay with, yeah. Kind of wild. But yeah, I had a good time with this movie. I could feel myself uh, kind of, I could see a route. So we watched this movie over the course of a couple mornings and evenings. Um, so I could see myself as we started this movie. I was like, oh, I can see myself kind of going two emotional routes about watching this movie. I can project and kind of imagine um, our kid like growing up into this, or like playing sports and all this kind of thing, and like fighting for her and that kind of thing. And I could, that this movie could destroy me by the end, or I could just have a good time with it. So I went the good time route. But I recognized of just like, oh, this movie could like really make me cry because, you know, there's some really strong stuff that shows up in this movie.
It is.
Um,
I'm I'm kind of a sucker for tearjerkers of this variety. Like, sit me down in front of Steel Magnolias, I'll cry every time. There's also it. You have the movies in your little movie book that are just like the classic movies that'll make you cry, and there's a couple scenes in here that will do it to me forever. It's the scene where Betty's husband dies, and they get the telegram saying that he's died, and then obviously the scene at the end where Dottie and Kit kind of have their moment after the World Series, and Dottie decides to like leave the league, and Kit decides to stay in Chicago, but they have this like reconciliation of a moment where they finally somehow ended up where they're supposed to be after all of this craziness.
it's good. It's good. And then the whole back end, the whole back 10 minutes or whatever of like all these old women coming back together and like reliving their moments and seeing their things emblazoned on the walls in this Hall of Fame is really powerful. And had I gone the emotional route, that movie, that ending would have destroyed me. Had it not been for Stillwell, the connection piece, the connection piece to Pee-wee's Big Adventure, that really took me out of it. Thankfully.
So part
We were
of the
watching the
plot.
movie and he goes, "That's how I'm gonna connect it." I'm like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
And I was like, that's the guy, that's Francis from Pee Wee Herman.
Listen, my yell shook my house when I realized. Part of the plot of this movie is that one of the baseball players has a son who is like an annoying brat who is on the bus with them for
Whose
most of the
father
movie.
will not take care of him.
His father will not take care of him, so he has to like go on the road with the Rockford Peaches, which, like, what a story for when you're grown up. And then at the end, it shows a grown up version of him at the reunion, and it is the same guy who plays Francis in Pee Wee Herman.
Like,
Which
what a choice.
is beautiful.
Like they framed him, they framed the character like he was going to be like some big name actor. But no, it's the fucking, spoiled brat from Pee-wee's Big Adventure. So I think Penny Marshall knew that like we have to have like some kind of moment of levity in this movie, in this particular scene. Otherwise, like the dam's gonna break emotionally from what's going on. But then also too, yeah, like Ryan mentioned, you have this realization of like Dottie and Kit are acting like they haven't seen each other since Dottie left the league 40 years prior.
1943.
Listen, I'm sure
1980
they've
something. What are we talking
seen
about?
each other. It's like the 80s. You don't get to FaceTime. Maybe it's been a few years. Like at the beginning
Kit's
of the
been
movie.
busy. She's being trailed by like 92 grandkids.
Yeah, you get the
So
idea
many
that she
kids.
has been successful in the family business. But at the beginning of the movie, when Dottie is with her daughter, she does somewhat imply that like she knows Aunt Kit, right?
Yeah.
We're not thinking they haven't seen each other. That's insane. It's just like they kind of naturally go onto two different paths in life while sharing this loving relationship, and they don't have FaceTime. And like that's what we're dealing with here.
It felt different. I don't know. But
There's
yeah,
no
Kit
way they have not seen each other in 40 years.
Kit was busy. She had so many kids. All the Way May is such an incredible nickname. I think it's so funny.
All the scenes of May and Doris, Madonna and Rosie O'Donnell are so great. The scenes where they're going to confession in the church and the priest keeps dropping the Bible as well, all the stuff that she's saying, and then she comes out and winks at one of like the little schoolboys. It's so fun.
So great. I loved that, casting director Penny Marshall, whoever on the movie, just like got all these characters together and immediately recognized Rosie O'Donnell and Madonna together on screen. They're
Mhm.
always together. They are dynamite together. They play off each other so well.
Incredible. And then you get like this supporting cast of the team who each are able to kind of carve out their own distinct little personalities. You get like Helen, the good one, Alice, the Canadian, Ellen Sue, like the beauty queen, who's like the relief pitcher, Shirley, the one who's learning to read. And you kind of like, you grow them as well throughout the movie along with the rest of these characters. And it's so fun to just like have these little moments with them, either like in conversation or in the background. It feels so natural the way it's all put together.
Incredible. Yeah, I love the callback of the incredibly heartbreaking scene where she can't read and they're like, they need to find her name on the thing. You do. She's excited. And then later she's sitting with May in the back of the bus reading smut.
Yeah.
It's so wonderful.
Milky Way. Yes.
Breasts.
She's like, keep reading, it gets better.
Like, good Lord, they were writing this back in the 40s. Wild stuff.
All right, let me get through some final thoughts here because my end game's going to be a whole thing. If you like this movie, you should check out the TV show that they made a couple years back. It's on Amazon, and it's not a remake of this movie, but it's like a similar vein where it's like about the women's baseball league, but it's different characters, and they really dive into like the Black experience during this time. Even though you get like one like 5-second clip of that in this movie.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's not a lot of representation in this movie.
That's like half of the TV show. But then
Good.
the other half of it is the fact where it's like them realizing, 90% of the women on this team would be gay as fuck. And that's what the other half of the TV show is like them kind of like figuring out the dynamics of like all of us coming together and realizing most of us are gay. How do we do this in fucking 1943 or whatever?
Yeah. That makes for good TV.
It's an interesting show. It's really good. I would check it out. I also love Tom Hanks' little monologue when he's getting mad at Dottie because she's leaving, and she says like it just got too hard, and then he says like it's supposed to be hard. The hard is what makes it great. At its core, this is a movie about like baseball and its place as such an important thing in America, which I am a sucker for. Unfortunately,
yeah. I mean, this is your second baseball movie that you've brought to the table. Field of Dreams T-shirt.
Yeah.
That speech kind of is reminiscent and probably planted seeds for things like Ted Lasso. Strong, enigmatic, heady, psychological kind of like coach type of character. Where it's a TV show about soccer, but it's about life, man. Same kind of a thing of like, if it's hard, or if it wasn't hard, everyone would do it, kind of a thing.
All right. Well, let's get through this. I'm kidding. This game's gonna last forever. Are you ready for the game I've come up with for?
Oh, I'm gonna run away. I'm gonna go.
You're gonna duck out, Ryan.
You were not prepared for me to be here for the game.
She
Ryan,
would give all the answers.
Thank you so much for coming. This is like
incredibly
special.
I'll see you in a few minutes.
Yeah,
my love.
You guys are in the same
I'll be
house.
home from my business meeting.
Yeah, for your business trip.
Just taking the train.
Business trip.
Yep, I'll pick you up at the airport.
All right, I'll be waiting.
Incredible.
My God,
Joe, those were our guests.
Justin, that was beautiful. Thank you for doing that.
You're welcome.
My God. All right. Here's my game for A League of Their Own.
Here's the game.
You know that email that I sent you?
Yeah. Should I open that email?
You should open that email.
Okay.
My game is called Let's Build a League of Our Own. Over the course of our 3 years here at Uncultured Universe, we've encountered and discussed a wide range of strong, cool, sad, heroic, scary female characters. As my last game ever on the podcast, naturally, I'm going to have us draft them into 2 baseball teams. Going off of the list of characters I have provided, we're going to take turns picking our team members, filling up 8 positions on the field, as well as, are you listening? 1 batter. I'm going to give you 1 batter. Okay. And finally, 1 manager. Got it?
Got it.
Once someone is picked, they can't be used anywhere else. So don't use up all your good ones in the first few rounds. Going off of whose line is it anyway rules here, the rules are made up and the points don't matter.
Oh my God.
However, you do get general cool points if you can justify your pick for each position. Okay. Are you ready?
Yeah.
Okay, so you can go first. I'm going to give you a position and a little description of it, and then you just tell me who you'd want to pick for that position.
Okay. Got it.
Okay, we're going to start with left field.
Okay.
Of all outfielders, the left fielder often will have the weakest arm, as they generally do not need to throw the ball as far to prevent the advance of any base runners. The left fielder still requires good fielding and catching skills and tends to receive more balls than the right fielder because the right-handed hitters tend to pull the ball into the left field. You got all that?
I got it.
Okay, who do you want as your left fielder? And take your
Let's
time.
see.
I did give you a list of 59 different
59.
characters.
59 people. Okay, so a weak left arm, but needs to be able to play really well. I'm gonna give this to let's see. I'm gonna convert this to just like a checkbox list. And I'm gonna pick Amanda Beckett from Can't Hardly Wait. Jennifer Love Hewitt. Probably kind of athletic because she's in high school, but like she doesn't seem very strong, like upper body strength, but she'd be a solid left fielder.
Okay, interesting. So Justin picks Amanda Beckett. Let me kind of knock that out on my end. I'll go with my left fielder. I'm gonna pick. Oh, I just had it. Annie Porter from Speed. I think having Sandra Bullock out there in left field, she's not like the strongest character, but she's got a lot of gumption and she's reliable. So I'll have her out there.
She's got the gumpsh.
Yeah. All right. Let's move on to right field. Of all outfield positions, the right fielder often has the strongest arm because they are the farthest from third base. Right field has developed a reputation in Little League for being a position where weaker players can be, quote unquote, hidden from the action because you don't get a lot of left-handed batters.
Yeah.
But they do have to throw it farther.
I'm gonna go with Meg Mucklebones from Legend.
God damn it! I was going to pick Megan Bucklebones.
As right field, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah.
She's got that height.
She's got that height advantage. She's gonna be able to huck it clear across the field straight to third base.
Okay. I'm going to go with old Murph from Interstellar because, again, she's not going to be doing a whole lot, but I want that, like, wisdom on my team.
Yeah.
You know?
I like that you specified old Murph.
Well, there's 3 different Murphs, yeah.
Not child Murph. Wait, old, like older, like
old, like Ellen Burstyn Murph.
Great.
I was going to
surprise you.
Listen, I was going to send you pictures for all of these, but I ran out of time, and I don't think the email would have handled that.
That would have taken forever. Just got to make a Google Doc.
All right. I should have done that. Center field. The center fielder is the captain of the outfield and has the authority to call off the corner fielders when he or she has a better chance to catch the ball. They must be the outfielder who has the best combination of speed and throwing distance. Who are you going with?
I'm going with Gracie Hart from Miss Congeniality.
Okay.
Field.
A little bit of leadership skills there. I see it.
100%. She whipped those girls into shape for nationals or whatever it was.
I'm gonna.
Miss America.
It's all blending together, isn't it? I'm gonna go with Audrey 2 from Little Shop of Horrors. I think she's got that reach. She's got multiple arms she can grow, and so I think she's gonna completely suffocate any batters, and you're gonna piss your pants if you're batting against Audrey 2.
Yeah. Although she is stationary, she's in a. Depending on her state, she's either in a planter, fixed.
I'm counting on the arms being extremely flexible and reach. I'm counting on some reach here. Yeah.
And some tentacles. Okay.
You got it.
Right. Uh-huh.
All right. We're getting infield. First base. The first baseman is ideally a tall player who throws left-handed and possesses good flexibility and quick reflexes. This is kind of where I wanted my Meg Mucklebones.
Let's see. Solid first. You need a solid first base player. First baseman. I'm going with Auntie Whispers from Over the Garden Wall.
She's kind of a squat character now.
But she's solid. You know, all she needs is just to like sit there and get that first base hit. Keep her foot on the plate or on the base.
She is solid. I'll go with Mia Wallace, Pulp Fiction. She's got those dance moves. I feel like she can be kind of like tapping around the base on and off to tag those people out.
Oh, okay. I like it.
Do you like how I'm making you like justify these picks on the fly?
Oh, I can 100% do it.
Yeah. Okay. Second base. The second baseman often possesses quick hands and feet, needs the ability to get rid of the ball quickly, and must be able to make the pivot on a double play. God damn it, this is where I should put Mia Wallace.
I'm putting Sarah from Labyrinth here.
Okay.
Second
Talk
base.
about that.
She's young and spry. You need a quick thinking second base player. That's Sarah.
Okay.
And she handles the Jarrett's balls really well.
That's super true. That's super true. I'll do Lady Hideko from The Handmaiden. She's kind of like playing multiple games at once. She's able to look to her left, look to her right, keep it all together in her head, figure out where the ball's going from there. Yeah. I like that.
That's great. That's great.
Thank you. Third base. Third base is known as the hot corner because
skipping.
Oh, fuck. Yes, I am. You're so right.
Don't you skip shortstop?
Shortstop. More hit balls go to the shortstop than any other position. Mm-hmm. A shortstop typically has a strong throwing arm because they have a relatively long throw to first base, which is where they want to be throwing most of the time.
Yep.
Who do you got?
This is going to be Benjamina, Miss Piggy.
That's good.
She is fucking fierce, and she would eat up all those balls that are coming straight down the pipe there at second between second and third base.
If you're putting Miss Piggy somewhere, it's got to be front and center, so shortstop is the place to go.
100%. The star player is usually a shortstop anyway. So
I'm gonna go tie-dye girl from The Parent Trap. She's just got that arm. At the end of the day, you really need that strength.
You need that strength. You need that strength.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love that.
Third base. Now we're back. Third base is known as the hot corner because the third baseman is often the infielder who stands closest to the batter. A third baseman must possess good hand-eye coordination and quick reactions to catch batted balls whose speed can exceed 120 miles per hour.
This is going to be. Oh man. No.
I'm also looking at the list here.
This is gonna be Jenny from Forrest Gump.
Explain yourself.
Dude, years of heroin and cocaine and AIDS have sharpened her brain,
None of that confirmed.
defying defying modern medicine. Depending on which stage that you catch Ginny in, you did not specify. This is her at her most coked up. She's ready to go.
All right. I'll let you have that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna keep it simple. You know, why mess with it? I'll take Sonya Blade, Mortal Kombat. You know, I think she's got the gumption, she's got the athletics, she can handle third base.
Yeah. I buy it.
Okay.
She beat the shit and murdered a guy on the beach. So.
She shot someone.
She shot someone.
Here's where I'm going to switch it up a little bit. I'm going to give you pitcher and catcher at the same time. The pitcher is often considered the most important player on the defensive side of the game. The catcher can see the whole field and is therefore in the best position to direct and lead the other players in a defensive play. The relationship between pitcher and catcher is so important that some teams select the starting catcher for a particular game based on the starting pitcher. So you're going to pick them both.
Pitcher and catcher.
Who's pitching? Who's catching?
Classic. Classic, Joe. Catcher, I'm putting Claudia.
Interesting.
Interview with the Vampire.
God, that strike zone's the size of a postage stamp.
It's so tiny. She's so small. But also she's got that vampiric reflexes and eyes. She can see. And she can glamour the team into stepping it up.
We're introducing magical elements now. Okay.
Pitcher, I'm giving this to Chili from Bluey.
Oh.
Chili has unspoken and spoken tenacity, and yeah, she'll put it right down the pipe.
Okay. I'm so glad I made it this far without you picking my picks for this, because I didn't think I would. I think the obvious picks for pitcher and catcher, I'm putting Megan from Megan as pitcher and Reagan from The Exorcist, parentheses possessed, I'm putting as catcher. I think that's an unstoppable pair. I think that puts me in the World Series easy.
Oh my God. Yeah.
Imagine Megan doing the little dance, doing like a little pirouette and then throwing like a 500-mile-per-hour pitch, and then Reagan like climbing up the wall to catch it.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
A foul ball. She's like spider crawling to go get it up into the stands. I love it.
That's a pair I can get behind.
Uh-huh.
All right. Switching over real quick.
Yeah.
Give me one batter. Who can hit that ball?
Sarah fucking Connor. Dude, Sarah Connor busting out those pull-ups like she ain't got no tomorrow because she didn't think so.
She's got that arm.
She's got those arms. She's got that strength. She's a switch hitter, you know? Yeah, Sarah Connor, all day batter, baby.
Oh, that's a good note. I got to go with Marla Hooch. League of Their Own.
Yeah.
Today's very own episode. How can I not?
How could you not?
I mean, we've seen the evidence. We've seen the tape.
I figured that would be like too easy of a pick.
I swung for it.
Well, you swung for it. Oh man! Also, too, just one up from Sarah Connor is Noxzema Jackson from Tu Wong Fu.
You got to read this whole list.
I know, that would have been great too. Surprise! It's a man.
All right, last one, and think hard on this one.
Yeah.
Who's your manager? Who's got those leadership skills?
Who's got the leadership skills? It's gonna be who gets the team together the best. Who gets the people together? No, maybe. No. Wild card, no. Who can do it Who can do it better? Can you do it better? I don't think so. I'm gonna say, unless anyone else can do it. Ooh, man, it's a toss-up.
Who are you thinking of right now?
I don't want to tell you.
No, it's fine. It's fine. Tell the listeners.
I'm torn between Ginger from Chicken Run.
She's strong contender.
She's got the schemes. she was able to help those chickens escape to safety. She's got the plot. She can see the forest for the trees, you know?
Hmm.
But man, Dulcia from Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie,
Mm.
is a warrior at heart. And I'm worried that might make her too much of
Maybe 1,000 years old. Who knows?
maybe 1,000. I was going to put her at batter, but I think Sarah Connor is better. So I'm going with Ginger as the coach.
Listen, that makes a ton of sense. She did inspire her fellow chickens to lead a revolt against claymation Nazis.
Right.
So that was my second choice. I will be going with Annie Kinsella from Field of Dreams. I think if you got a manager, you got to have that like Amy Madigan level of inspirational pep talk ness
Yeah.
in you.
Uh-huh.
So that will be my choice there.
Okay, great.
Fantastic. So to review, your team consists of Auntie Whispers, Amanda Beckett, Sarah from Labyrinth, Benjamina from Muppet Treasure Island, Sarah Connor, Ginger from Trick It Run, Meg Mucklebones, Gracie Hart from Miss Congeniality, Jenny from Forrest Gump, Chili from Bluey, and Claudia from Interview with a Vampire. It's a pretty good
Yep.
lineup.
It's a great lineup.
Versus mine, Mia Wallace from Pulp Fiction, Audrey Tube from Little Shop of Horrors, Annie Porter from Speed, Tie-Dye Girl from The Parent Trap, Reagan, parentheses, possessed from The Exorcist, Megan from Megan, Murph, parentheses, old from Interstellar, Annie Kinsella from Field of Dreams, Lady Hideko from The Handmaiden, Sonya Blade from Mortal Kombat, and Marla Hooch from A League of Their Own.
Incredible teams.
I like it, Justin. Just for extra bonus points, just off the cuff, what's your team name?
Tight mitts, get the hits. Yep.
Ours is just the
The go-getters.
go get the apples. We're
The
not as famous as the peaches.
No, yep. The Rockford apples. That
Oh,
was fun. I remember a like a co-ed baseball league from college, and their team name was Hard Bats and Tight Mitts. Real funny. I stole from that. Joe, that's so fun.
fantastic. Thank you for playing. Let's build a league of our own. I'm glad we did.
We did.
All right. Are you ready to shift to like the most rapid fire walk down memory lane we have ever taken?
We have ever taken.
All right.
Yeah, let's jump through there. Let's see. So obviously we spoke of our two hidden episodes, where we were butt babes trying to figure out this episode of or this podcast, talking about Gladiator and Scream. Good times. Need to figure out how to release those.
Do you have like the audio files anywhere?
I do somewhere.
I remember them being very unstructured and like very long. But I did enjoy watching both of them and taking notes as I went.
What is this test video from? Oh, is this a test? I don't know where those videos are. I'll need to find them. They're somewhere. Yeah, they're somewhere.
All right. Well,
but yeah, technical episode 1 being The Devil Wears Prada. Hell of a way to start.
Hell of a way to start. I'm so glad I got to introduce you to the Cerulean monologue and to one of Meryl Streep's finer roles.
Yeah, and I keep seeing the shirt pop up everywhere of critiquing her boyfriend's grilled cheese.
Mm-hmm.
It's so fun. I need to buy it.
And Andy's friends and boyfriend are the true villains of that movie.
100%. Little known fact, I'm looking at the YouTube data. The Devil Wears Prada, audio only.
Mm-hmm.
Most of these are audio only. Has 44,000 views.
Do you know why that is, Justin?
Because people fucking love Meryl Streep.
That, and I think people think it's the movie on YouTube.
Yeah. Idiots. Yeah, when we started changing the titles to like being cutesy or whatever, the views go down dramatically, but
We will take it.
we'll take it. But that one has 44,000 views. Uh, it's our second most viewed video on YouTube.
That rocks. What's our first most?
The Parent Trap with 58,000.
That one's purely because of us.
Oh, 100% on our own merit.
Yeah.
Pulp
They knew.
Fiction. So you came out swinging with Devil. Came back with Pulp Fiction. A good cornerstone piece to my upbringing and my coming of age. Introduced me to cinema
Mhm.
in a sense, film of sorts.
I was delightfully surprised by how much I enjoyed like the diner scenes in that, and how fucking good Samuel L. Jackson is in those scenes.
He's just a great actor. He's just enigmatic.
Mm.
Love that. Young Frankenstein. I think about a lot. I love Mel Brooks
Hmm.
and Gene Wilder, and that movie is just so fucking funny. I see it's like a Lego rendition of
Yep.
the Hans Delbruck brain scene, and it's so funny.
Yep. I love the Abby Normal scene. Also, our only black and white episode, I believe, right?
Black and white movie only. Yeah.
Maybe one of the oldest movies we've covered too, from the 70s.
100%.
Over the Garden Wall.
Man.
Technically our first TV episode, kind of
Mhm.
snuck in as like a mini series.
Yeah.
My thought on this one, I love the design of this miniseries. This is so quintessentially you in my mind. I believe you have multiple Over the Garden Wall tattoos somewhere
Yeah.
on your body.
I have a sleeve.
Yeah. I think of you when I think of this, and I'm glad that we have covered Melanie Linsky, at least in
Yeah.
voice form.
Hmm.
That feels spiritually right to me.
It does. Oh yeah, and then we did 2 back-to-back episodes where I picked, and then we did Trick or Treat for Halloween
Mhm.
season. Again, I can't wait. We're coming up on this season of watching these movies over and over again. Trick or Treat is the best Halloween movie, in my opinion.
I like Sam scooting around in his little booties,
Little onesie, yeah.
his little onesie outfit. And I liked when Anna Paquin and her sisters all became werewolves.
It's great.
That was really fun for me.
So fun. Best in Show. A sleeper comedy, but so brilliantly done and well made. I can't wait to go back and rewatch that one.
It's such a great like preview of something like Schitt's Creek and all the characters who eventually like made their way into that show.
Yeah.
All the characters who have like this crazy sexual history with Catherine O'Hara's character, and then
Great.
I love Parker Posey freaking out about the busy bee in that
Parker
movie.
Poser's great. Gremlins, man, such a gritty, like dark comedy of the 80s. Practicality at its finest of just creatures. And a great Christmas movie. It's a Christmas movie through and through.
I like the scene where they all take over the bar and seem to kind of like successfully run it, at least like a little bit,
For
like
a little bit.
raucously, but like there is a hierarchy in place. There's bartenders, there's people partying.
Yeah. People playing games. Yeah.
You can imagine there could be a gremlin society if we just got out of their way.
Yeah, just let them do their thing. I love it. Christmas Story, a great classic that I had neglected for so long. But I think it's great. I think I can't wait to again rewatch that one.
I recorded that one in the basement of an Airbnb during Christmas.
Yeah.
In the town that I would eventually move to and live in right now.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that.
Can't hardly wait.
Can't hardly wait. What is there to say about Can't Hardly Wait?
I like Seth Green and the other girl's little moment in the bathroom throughout that movie.
Yeah. Should not have been watching this movie when I was 11 years old, 10 or 11 years old.
Hmm.
But it set me up for what I thought high school was going to be, which definitely wasn't.
Yeah.
And also a surprise Jason Segel shows up in this movie, which he comes back later.
Surprised Jenna Elfman too as like
Oh,
the
yeah.
angel character. Like that.
That's right. Jenna Elfman. Love that.
A Bug's Life.
Oh my God. If there's more of a movie that's more appropriate to the times that we're living.
Wow.
Wow.
We got to defeat those grasshoppers.
Gotta just kill those grasshoppers.
Classically, Joe's first movie ever saw in
That's right.
theaters.
That's right. That's a canonical event. I love that one. Lost in Translation, a beautiful movie, a beautiful film.
One of the first like quote unquote serious movies that we cover that's like an actual like gap in my like overall human movie culture.
Uh-huh.
I'm glad I've watched it. I like the relationship between Bill Murray and Scarlett Johansson in it. I love that Anna Faris is randomly in it.
Yeah. Forgot about that.
I love the ending.
Oh, the ending is so great. It's iconic. Sophia Coppola, shout out. Call us. When Harry Met Sally, holy shit, that movie is so good.
This is my classic plane movie.
That's a good plane movie. Yeah.
I've watched it so many times on so many flights.
I love that. Spoiler for later, but Marley and Me is Ryan's travel book.
Oh, yeah.
She reads that book anytime we travel. So fun. Yeah, surprise hot
Billy Crystal.
Billy Crystal in this movie.
Yeah.
So great.
Everyone's hot in that movie.
Mm-hmm. Little Shop of Horrors. Man, the musical of magic.
Maybe the first movie pick of yours that I genuinely ended up loving. And it surprised me so hard. I didn't know what I was going into this, but one of the songs from that movie became one of the top 5 listened songs on my Spotify
of that year.
Yeah,
because we did that episode in March. Yeah,
which is
amazing,
insane. I love this movie. I love the soundtrack.
Yep. Moulin Rouge. That was one of the episodes that we saw at the Plaza Theater in Atlanta.
Go Plaza.
Go Plaza. Go Plaza. Such a fun musical. Our first Baz Luhrmann. Crazy movie, but so much fun. Really, really visually incredible.
The Social Network, maybe I would say, in my opinion, the best movie we covered on the podcast. Just overall in terms of quality.
Yeah.
I watched it and it feels so like stupid to say like, oh, I love The Social Network. But like I watched it in 2023.
Mm-hmm.
It still felt relevant then.
Yeah.
That it the same as it did in 2010. Such a well-made, well-crafted movie. And oh my God, it just it makes me want to watch it again.
Yeah, David Fincher fucking kills it. Moonstruck, holy man, holy shit! Our first Nick Cage share, first Nick Cage sighting. This movie is crazy, but so like earnest and kind of sweet.
I love when she gets her hair done and it's darker and curlier.
Yeah, just like what even happened here? Go share. Labyrinth.
David Bowie's balls.
David Bowie's giant bulge and his teased hair and his outfits and the music. Oh my God, the music.
I do love the music in that one.
Yeah, and all the Muppets. This was for Muppet March.
I mean, Muppet March going into Muppet Treasure Island. I love the music in this, and Tim Curry is doing God level work.
Oh man, he is pulling the weight heavily. And shout out a dick joke in Muppet Treasure Island. Love that. Black Swan, the second movie we saw at the Plaza.
We saw this in like the little upstairs,
Yeah.
like 10-person theater at the Plaza.
Yeah, which is perfect for this movie because it's so like intimate and claustrophobic.
I had so much fun. I wasn't expecting it, and I gasped when she was lifted up and like suddenly like accidentally dropped on stage in the movie.
Yeah, I love it. It's so good. Surprise lesbian hit.
Yeah.
Love that.
Tu Wong Fu.
Man, the episode I came out and said I'm bisexual. I love it so much. This movie is great.
Justin, that was a genuinely special moment on my couch in my house when we watched Tu Wong Fu and recorded this episode, and I'm so glad I got to share that with you.
Yeah, of course. I mean, and then shout out to Rachel Tensions, RuPaul herself.
Rachel Tensions.
Such a great drag name. I love it. Terminator 2. This is Joe's first absentee episode. This is the first one where we had guest Ryan.
Yeah.
On. Did you did a send-in video for this one, right?
I sent you guys in a video. I was at a wedding in Barbados and I recorded it from a hotel.
Love it. Yeah. I hate that you had to miss it because I know that you love this movie. But it was great because Ryan had never seen it. So it was
one of my favorite movie scores of all time, Terminator 2.
Incredible. Going into Speed, our first Keanu, our first Sandra Bullock, Sandy B. Just a full-on good time and made me want to join the SWAT.
I like that we had to Google the "well, I'm taller" line at the end of the movie because neither of us understood what it meant. And then it does make more sense when you factor in that he just got his head cut off.
Yep, 100%. A joke that didn't really land. Chicken Run, so fun. Another like Joe pick of like an uprising.
Yeah,
I love it.
What was going on in 2023? I was feeling very revolutionary.
Yeah.
Such a classic for my childhood. Please forgive us for the audio on that episode. Just know there was a lot of heart behind it.
So much heart and chicken. This was another episode that we recorded at your house.
Forgetting Sarah Marshall, I always think of Jonah Hill trying to pick up the plate, and then Jason Segel saying he's not done with it, and then Jonah Hill just saying, "Oh, okay, cool, I'll go fuck myself," and then just walking away.
Yeah.
Aloha.
Yeah, this is our second appearance of Jason Segel, but first appearance of Jason Segel. Dong. Parent Trap, another movie that we saw at the Plaza. This time we dressed up.
Go Plaza. Go us for dressing not in the movie, but I think we both wore just like camp t-shirts that I had from an old Halloween costume. Yep. I think we looked great.
We did look great. We were very comfortable.
A classic movie.
Summer movie flick, which was great. And we were gonna be at the same time as who was gonna be there?
Elaine Hendricks. Meredith from the show was almost at the show that we were going to, but I just saw a clip. She's on Dancing with the Stars now, so we can watch her there.
Good for her. And Topanga too. Good for them.
Yeah.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Man. TURTLE power for sure. Another cornerstone. This was the first like ninja fight movie from my childhood that that I wore out. Love this one so much.
This was the first of a very important trilogy. I loved Raphael's little emotional montages in this movie.
So good.
When they're like randomly on the farm.
Incredible. Howl's Moving Castle. This was one of my favorite movies that we've ever covered.
Really?
Yeah, and it's a Miyazaki film, of course, because it's so gorgeous and beautifully done. The sound, the score, the soundscape, everything is just perfection.
It was so strange because like the first time I watched Howl's Moving Castle, I thought it was so boring, and it's only gotten better and better every time I've watched it since, and now it's just like pure comfort movie. And it is a score that I revisit constantly. I love the music in this movie.
It's great. We talked about earlier how like Ryan's been on every essentially like a ghost writer on every one of these episodes. As soon as that movie was over, she found like a Calcifer figurine and bought it and it's still up on our shelf to this day.
Wonderful.
The Exorcist. We saw this at like some shady ass movie theater
We
upstate night at I-85.
I'm pretty sure that movie theater was like an abandoned forest the night before, and it returned to being an abandoned forest as
Yeah,
soon as we left.
there was like no one there.
I don't think we gave anyone tickets. I think the doors opened on their own. There was no one else there.
It was haunted.
So essentially the perfect viewing experience of The Exorcist.
100%. It was great. Megan, another one we watched at your house. The icon, the legend herself,
A camp classic.
A camp classic. So good. The dancing, the snarkiness, the cuntiness.
I haven't seen the sequel, but Jonathan has, and he says it's fun.
Oh, cool. Good. I heard it's terrible, but that's fine.
Maybe that's the point.
Maybe that's the point. Eternal Sunshine of the Spotless Mind. Jim, our first Jim Carrey.
First Jim Carrey. First
Man,
Kirsten Dunst, maybe?
First Kirsten Dunst. That's right. Yeah, first appearance of Kirsten Dunst. Kind of a bummer of a movie, but a fun, heady, psychological trip.
Yeah, I loved the way this one ended.
Yeah.
There's kind of so many ways this goes. Yeah.
Yeah. Love that. Interstellar, another one that you missed out on because you were traveling the world. And this was, how can I bum out my partner in the most heinous way possible? I'm going to show her Interstellar.
I fucking love Interstellar.
Interstellar is like such a great movie, and it's such a film bro thing to say, but like, god damn it, that movie is like so good.
It's beautiful, and one of the best cameos of my lifetime was like seeing Matt Damon emerge in the theater and just like bathing in that in real time.
Yeah, so good. Family Stone, man, what a Christmas flick this was of like Sarah Jessica Parker being just the worst.
I think this was a classic Joe episode where like my game for you was like listing out all the reasons why these characters should go to jail.
Yeah.
I love this movie so much.
Oh yeah, this was the first appearance of Should They Go to Jail? The game that we played. That was great. Family Stone. Krampus, another cornerstone of like one of my favorite horror movies. It's a Christmas movie, but it's so kitschy and over the top.
I like how like dark this movie ends up being. I really loved how much you went for it with the Dungeons and Dragons game in this episode, which constitutes maybe like half of this episode if you listen to it.
Yeah.
And I like Krampus's gross little face when he reveals it.
He does have a gross face. Like,
yeah.
Fuck that guy. Legend. Another Tim Carrey appearance as Darkness, the devil incarnate. So sexy as a character.
I ended up loving the look of this movie. Every scene of it looks like some sort of like gauzy painting.
Yeah.
It's beautiful, and the acting is like cheesy but fun. Hang on, we skipped Three Musketeers.
Which
we did. I love the song associated with it.
Man, yeah, the
Rod
Stewart and Bryan Adams.
Yeah,
that song fucking rules. That episode got us our second ding, I think, on our YouTube for reusing unlicensed.
Have we gotten dings on YouTube?
Oh hell yeah!
Oh my god!
Remember when we used to play trailers at the beginning of episodes?
Yeah,
we got dinged a couple times.
Oh
yeah.
Well, anyway, that's another Tim Curry. So
anyway, that's another Tim Curry.
We've kind of got a Tim Curry trilogy going. Strictly Ballroom. I love it.
Strictly Ballroom was like a surprise delight for me.
Yeah.
You described it to me, and I was like, I don't think I'm gonna like this. But at the end, I was like, oh, this movie like fucking rules. I kind of love it.
It taps into this like weird but beautiful like 90s Australian tacky culture.
Yeah.
That you can also see in something like Muriel's Wedding. Love that movie.
Yeah. Our second Baz Luhrmann, and then followed by our third to close up the Red Curtain trilogy, Romeo plus Juliet.
I can't believe it took me so long to watch this one, and I was particularly blown away by not the balcony scene, but the scene where they're at the party and they're going just like in and out of the elevator and things just like happening all around them, and like Desiree's kind of swelling. Like it's such a mixture of all the maximalist stuff that Baz is so good at,
Yeah.
but there's such like a muted soundscape to it that is kind of beautiful.
Yeah.
It took me by
scene.
surprise.
It's a great scene. Ooh, 1917. Also another surprise one. I'd like kind of knew about it, but I didn't know that it was like a one-shot movie. Just incredibly blown away by it. The cinematography, the sheer artistry that took place to make it seem seamless. Easily one of the one of the better made movies, best made movies on this list.
We love a Deacons. Yet another score that I revisit. The score for 1917. It's one of the rare movies that I watched just like a couple times in a row in theaters, just because like it's such an incredible theater experience.
Oh God, yeah, that would be. I would love to see that in theaters. Great. Speaking of Deacons, The Big Lebowski, man. This movie is just is just like such a cool, like, if it comes on TV, you just got to watch it because it's so fun.
Maybe one of the movies I'm most glad that we covered, just in terms of me being able to like cross it off and say like, yeah, I've watched The Big Lebowski.
Yeah.
Like, you have to watch The Big Lebowski.
You have to watch The Big Lebowski. It's a litmus test to see how cool someone is, if they should be allowed in your inner circle. Episode 40, Marley and Me. This was another one where you were gone, and it was Ryan. And again, yeah, like she mentioned when she was on, that this was a revenge episode because I made her watch Interstellar. So she made me read and watch the movie Marley and Me, and oof, that one hurt. So much so I did a cover of 9 Inch Nails / Johnny Cash Hurt.
Did you end up liking the book or the movie better in that case?
I liked the book way better. The movie I thought was kind of garbage. The book is really good, but it sucks. Don't do it.
Alrighty. Oh, Bob's Burgers.
Bob's Burgers.
I'm so glad this was like our first major like TV moment that we branched out into. We talked for so long about how to do TV.
Yeah.
And we landed on like, I'm going to give you 4 episodes of TV that you're going to watch. And Bob's Burgers is kind of the perfect show for that because you can dip in and out of it. And I loved the process of like trying to figure out which 4 episodes I could narrow it down for you while still like, I guess like giving you a grasp of all the characters and all the situations that they can get into on the show.
It was a perfect mix, and you know, we have gone back and started the series from the beginning, so it's fun to like go in chronological order and be like, oh, this is one of the ones that Joe put on the list. Remember that? So
fantastic.
Yeah, very fun. Wayne's World, another one of my picks. So fun.
I mean, I love Wayne and Garth together. I love the scene where they're ordering Chinese food and he asks for like the
cream of some young guy. So funny. So funny.
I love that Laura Flynn Boyle from Twin Peaks plays a crazy person.
Oh, she's great. I forgot about that. Laura Flynn Boyle. Man. What a superstar. Man, this one was so good. This was when we were doing our SNL kind of parallel movies. Superstar was a lot of fun. A peak 90s comedy.
Again, another Elaine Hendricks episode. And I love the scene where she keeps on slamming and opening the door because she can't like fully get it closed while screaming that her grandmother's horrible.
So good, so funny. Oh, before Wayne's World, we skipped our music recap, but it was a music recap. We were just talking about all the music that
it was a music recap
that we've done. We recapped the music.
That also was really fun to kind of break away from our regular format. And Justin, you've created like a really impressive range of different music cues or straight up covers on this show. And I was glad to experience all of them.
The sheer amount of gigabytes of things that I've created for this podcast is innumerable, from video to audio to graphics. It's been real fun.
Yeah.
Super Troopers, kind of like a fun, ridiculous stoner comedy, which famously did not hit for Joe.
I think this is the low point of the list for me. However, I do like the scene where he's just like guzzling the syrup from the bottle.
Yep.
And I like all the times that they pull over people and play pranks on them.
Yeah. It's just like, man, that's what cops used to be like, you know?
We used to be a country.
We used to be a civilized country. Miss Congeniality. Man, what a fun one that was.
Just remember to sing.
Yeah,
Solar plex, instep, nose, groin.
Yep. That's how you do. Our first Shatner and our second Sandy B.
Our first Shatner. I don't think we covered Shatner.
No. But it's our first Shatner appearance.
Incredible.
Going back to our sports corner, one of our first sports movies, with Varsity Blues. Again, another movie that I probably watched a little too young.
I recall kind of being delightfully surprised by this one. I thought
it's got some good heart.
Yeah. I liked the music. I liked the characters. I liked the guy's little brother who's like exploring different religions in the background while all the story is happening.
That's right. He started like a cult by the end. It's so fun. Field of Dreams, our first baseball movie. Joe loves baseball, ladies and gentlemen.
I just can't help it.
Yeah, this one, again, of like this, like you said, it's a good like checkbox ticker of like, hey, I finally saw Field of Dreams. And you know, it's a really good one. It's a good, heartfelt, good story.
I love James Earl Jones in it,
Jones is great.
I love when his wife rallies the crowd at the PTA meeting.
Oh, that's right. Talks about fascism and stuff like that. It's crazy.
Incredible.
Forrest Gump. This was just one that I picked that we had both seen, but it was like, it's one of my favorite movies ever. So that was fun to kind of, again, break away and kind of just talk about a movie.
Is this our first Hanks? No.
Yeah.
Yes?
It's our first Hanks.
Wow, it took us that long to
I know.
cover Hanks.
First Hanks sighting.
I mean, following that up with like one of my foundational movies, which
Little Women.
Little Women.
They're so tiny.
I'm glad we got to cover this in December. It's a Christmas movie for me, and again, like a score that I absolutely revisit constantly.
Man, I haven't even thought about the score. Man, yeah.
Oh,
go back and rewatch that one.
Check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I took the message to heart from that one of like, this is how I'm going to raise my kid. You know, strong, independent woman.
Get out.
Everything. Love that. Bluey, we had him on earlier. We brought Matt on for this one to kind of do another TV episode, and I wanted to show you guys, take a peek into my experience with parenting and how Bluey can wreck you if you're not ready.
This was so special. I loved talking with you and Matt, and I loved the different variety of episodes that we were able to cover on this one.
Yeah, the joy that you mentioned from the Bob's Burgers episode of like, how do I curate the perfect 4 episodes or however many we did to talk about this? The Handmaiden. Holy shit, this movie was a wacky, wild ride, but a fun, good movie. It was a good movie.
I watched this for the first time back in like 2020 or something, just like the dawn of the pandemic. And the whole time we were doing this podcast, I was like, I need to eventually get to The Handmaiden in some sort of like batshit crazy moment.
We did it, and it was wild. Interview with the Vampire. I think that is like such a good quintessential vampire movie. It's done so well.
It's different than the other vampire movies I've seen. This is another like box check for me, and also kind of quietly closes out a little Kirsten Dunst trilogy for us. Little Women, Interview with a Vampire, Eternal Sunshine.
Internal Sunshine, yeah, love that. Sister Act 1, check in the box for me of Whoopi Goldberg Good Times in the 90s. This movie was so good. The music is inspiring. The acting is great. The storytelling is fantastic.
Yeah, I'm glad these last few months have been kind of Whoopi heavy between Sister Act
Sometimes you gotta be-
1 and 2.
You got to be heavy on the whoop. Heavy on the Whoopi. And then to undercut it with some Mighty Morphin Power Rangers, the movie. This movie is just insane. Second in the trilogy of, just informative ninja movies.
Mhm.
So silly and over the top.
I wasn't expecting it. This is one of the funnest times I had on this podcast, is talking about Mighty Morphin Power Rangers.
Yeah, that was a good one to kind of open up the nostalgia chest and look at. Following that up with Sister Act 2.
You gotta teach those kids.
How do we reach these kids? Through song and through the word of God. I still maintain the first one is stronger out of the two, but Sister Act 2 gives us Lauryn Hill.
Yeah.
And you can't deny Lauryn Hill.
And a secret little Jennifer Love Hewitt reunion for us.
Second Love Hewitt. Good for her. Mortal Kombat, completing the trilogy of my karate fighting kid upbringing. Another like fun, over the top acting, crazy visual movie.
I liked when Johnny Cage punched the four-armed alien guy in the dick.
In the nuts, yep.
Yeah.
And
while
he
doing a split.
Like shook his hand like, how hard are them nuts?
It's so hard.
Yeah. The Prince of Egypt, speaking of so hard, the Prince of Egypt, Joe took us to church. Y'all.
I swear none of these movies are like full-on religious. They just all happen to kind of line up that way.
Yeah, that's just how it was. Because if you look at the other ones that you did before, that was The Handmaiden, which holy shit. But the Prince of Egypt, a sweeping score, crazy, so white voice acting, incredible visuals.
Yeah, it's one of the ones, as we got nearer to the end of this podcast, we knew we were kind of wrapping it up, and so we shuffled around the ones that like we absolutely knew we wanted to cover. Yeah. And it narrowed down to like, you wanted to finish off the Justin Kick-Ass Ninja trilogy. I had to get Prince of Egypt and League of Their Own in there, and then of course we had been talking about Pee-wee for a while, so I'm glad overall we got to wrap all this up.
Yeah, these two last movies had seemingly nothing in common, but man, that last 5-minute scene in A League of Their Own with grown-up Stillwell being Francis is crazy, and I think that is like a wonderful like sign from the universe of just like, it's the Robert Redford slow motion pan in with the beard. Just you did it. We did it, Joe.
Listen, the movies themselves didn't have much in common, but they did, I think, like paint a really good picture of both of us and where we're coming from for this podcast. They're very representative of the different ends of the spectrum that we're both representing here.
Yeah, all of these movies have been a fun cross section into both of us, and I have had nothing but a good time and just learning more about you and more about your family and more about Jonathan and everybody. And it's just been a fun, experiment in friendship.
I have just fucking enjoyed watching movies with my friend.
I've just enjoyed
as I
watching
always
movies
do.
with you, bud. Yeah.
Oh
This
my
has
God.
been great. I said I wasn't gonna cry, and I'm not gonna. So,
Well, I said that we would end this on an intense 30-minute makeout
Makeout
session, but
session.
we may have to push that towards the end because we're past the 3-hour mark here.
We are way past the 3-hour mark, and it is past my bedtime. It's a school night after all. Anyway, if you've listened this far, hey, you did it. This is great. If you've kept up with us all these episodes, I doubt it, but holy shit, if you did, that's great. If nothing else, Joe, this has just been a way that we get to document. Matt mentioned, it's a fun chapter in our lives.
I
Um,
that is how I think of it. Like this is if we can figure out a way to get this off of the fucking internet, like this is going to be such a special thing
oh
for
my
you
God.
to have going forward, just to like hand off to your kid. It's incredible to have so much of this documented the way that it is because so many people don't have this at
Mhm.
this level.
Yeah.
Years and years later, looking back at things.
No, it's true. And it's, I find myself every so often going on our TikTok page and just looking at all our videos and going back and forth. Every once in a while, I'll open up like the GarageBand music files and just kind of listen back to the music and stuff. Um, it's really fun. And, every once in a while, I'll throw on an episode on podcast or whatever. So yeah, this is fun. There's a lot of stuff that we can do with this, but this has been truly fun, truly special, and I've enjoyed every minute of it. I love you very much.
I love you so much, Justin. Thank you for watching all these stupid
Stupid
movies with
fucking
me
ass movies, yeah.
and spending hours and hours talking about nothing with me.
Many, many hours that we've done. All right. So maybe the podcast proper on Apple Podcasts and Spotify may die, but probably our videos will live on in infamy. So maybe there's a second life yet for this. Check us out on YouTube or TikTok
At your
at
local library.
at your local library. I'm gonna make copies. I'm gonna burn DVDs and I'm gonna put them just stick them in. We're gonna do this guerrilla style.
Yeah.
We'll do that. This has been fun. This is Uncultured Universe signing off. See ya.
Bye.